And
there we go. Yeah, yeah. And then we're here. Pull it nice and tight. Yeah, see? There's something to it, right?
Yeah. I like this.
Yeah.
I'm good.
This is about the comfort. This is about the just being in the right space.
Yeah.
And figuring it out. Jeff Horste. Horste? Did I say that right?
Yeah, you did.
It's just funny. When we saw each other, so just to intro, stand-up comedian, human. Any other titles you like to give yourself? Any other boxes you check?
Man, there has to be more than just being a comedian, right? Is there? I mean, it feels so depressing when people are like, "But what else?" And I'm like, "Yeah, you're right."
Yeah,
sure. I guess.
Musician? What kind of hobbies? What do you do?
Hobbies.
What makes you happy?
Happy. No, it just turns into sadness. Happy, you say?
Yeah, happy.
You know what? I like my cat.
Okay.
My cat. I've taught my cat some tricks. In our
what
spare
kind
time.
of tricks?
Like sit, spin, jump through hoops.
Jump. Okay. People don't realize cats are very trainable.
Yeah. There was something on Netflix that we saw that basically like broke down that cat knowledge is just like decades behind. Just pretty much because most scientists are dudes, and so dudes are gonna
have cats.
They're like they pick dogs over cats, so they're just dog studies.
Are you drawing a line in the sand that dudes are dog people and cats are
more? So, I'm not at least 51%. At least more dudes are into dogs than not. Yeah.
Okay. I will stand there with you.
Yeah.
With
I'm sure there's more as the years go on. And I think as people get older, they're like, man, cats are just so much easier. Like I feel like there's so many people I met that grew up with dogs.
Yeah.
And then for a woman comes into their life and introduces them to cats. And then they're like, this is great.
It's funny, I've been working on a joke recently about the fact that like the amount of women I know that just have this feeling of like, I can't meet a guy. Like I always fall for these jerks. They're always self-centered. They're not emotionally available. They're not, blah. And then it's like, and then you find out like they have a cat at home, and you're like, do you realize you go home to the worst like version of a relationship? There's this thing that lives in your house that mooches off you. Sometimes it gives you extreme amounts of affection. Sometimes it needs extreme amounts of perfection, followed by get the fuck away from me. Like I'm like, you might be creating your own, like,
sure.
The best relationship you have in the world is this thing that treats you like shit or that you don't matter.
Yeah. It's very all or nothing.
40% of the time, 30% of whatever. And so I just wonder if there's something like women are drawn to, like, I don't know, just there's some instinctual, like, when I get the affection, I get it.
Yeah, it feels earned.
Yeah.
I feel like it means
that's a good
more.
Point. Yeah, than just a dog that's like, hi.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, I apprate it, but I don't know if I respect it,
Yeah, exactly. Which is men to women. Yeah. Hi, hey, are you my friend? Do you want to hang out? I'll do tricks. What do you want me to do? What do you want me to do? And they're like, this guy. I need a guy that treats me like shit every night. I don't know. I think we're on to something.
Yeah, we're on to something. We'll get there.
We're probably not the first, but we're not the first one to break down the dog-cat conundrum.
Yeah. No, our cat, we started fostering. And then we just realized that by fostering, you really are just trying out cats to keep. So you can.
I didn't even know there was cat fostering. I didn't know that was a thing.
During the pandemic, a lot of people thought of this, where they're like, if I'm going to be stuck at home all day, is this the time that I feel like hanging out with? So then it was actually through the Burbank Animal Shelter, which is somehow connected to the police station. So that's something.
Yeah.
That's weird to me.
I don't know why those two are connected.
I don't know either. Like when people argue over defunding the police, that's my first example of like,
well, what about the cats?
I was like, do you really think that there's people that wanted to be cops that wanted to take care of cats? Like, you know what I mean? Like you think that that's not what they wanted to do. Like I think they want a little change of their job profession as well.
Wait, so the cops are taking care of the cat? None of this makes sense.
There's cops at the Burbank Animal Shelter. There's like police that work at the Burbank Animal Shelter.
And we're paying them a policeman's salary to take care of cats?
They're wearing a cop uniform. Like you go in there and you grab cat litter and then you like wave at cops. It's really, really weird. It's
I think we just opened the whole can of worms.
I don't understand it. but somehow taxes something cats. Huh? I don't know. I don't know how it relates.
I don't either. But cats make you happy? Is that to circle back to what makes you happy?
Yeah. They have made me happy. I like animals. Bodyboarding is something in free time. There's a lot of things. People consider California to be so much more expensive coming from Michigan.
Yeah.
But most of the things I enjoy are just like, it costs $5 at like a dollar store to buy a little bodyboard.
Yeah.
And you can just go to the water's free.
The water is free.
And you can just go there and just get high and float on waves. It's great.
That sounds
you don't have
very
to be
California.
good at it. It's not like surfing. Like people think of surfing sometimes. It's like no, they're good at that thing.
Yeah,
this is just surfing
down with the wave.
Yeah, that's all it is.
Bodyboarding is a mix between like, did I catch it or did it take me?
Yeah.
Hey, are you out there catching waves? I'm not sure.
I'm not sure.
Who
I'm
gets
accepting
credit.
waves.
I'm putting myself in the position to become waved.
Yeah. Yeah. And then,
that's a good
there'll be other people that'll be out there that'll like ask me tips and stuff because they could tell that I just barely know more. What they know that I know more than them, but I don't feel comfortable enough to like teach them.
Yeah.
I'm like, nah, just
put yourself in a bad position, and then it's either going to catch you and push you or pick you up and drop you on your head.
When it's busy there, it can be weird. When it's like busy and then you're like you get a full steam and you're like, I'm about to hit a pregnant woman and her kids. Like
I don't surf on weekends. I don't like busy. Like I will purposely just sit somewhere where there's like, I know the waves are going to be shittier here, but there's too many people over there and I do not trust myself to pop up, look ahead and not run a giant.
So you go surfing?
I do surf here in San Diego. Yeah. And I love it. I don't do it enough. I wish I did it all the time. Because it is. I have found that the more I surf, the happier I am as a person, the calmer I am, and the better I sleep.
I feel like that's just about going outside.
Yeah, that could be it. That's probably it.
I mean, I'm not
it's
trying
not
to
even the
correct it. I'm saying
surfing.
for me.
Yeah.
I wasn't trying to like correct your thing.
No, I heard you.
It could be, your thing is surfing, and the more you do it, the happier you are to make time for things other than what makes you money.
Yeah.
100% of the time. Can't be the only thing that you put time and energy into or you'll go
But
insane.
it helps when you love that thing.
Yeah. That really does.
Do you like when did you start? How long have you been doing comedy?
13 years.
And how old are you?
35.
13 years. What was the thing that was like this is what I do now?
It was I even when I started comedy regularly, I always did it regularly. But the first 2 years, I was bad at it, so I just called it a hobby.
Okay.
And then...
That's interesting. You actually kind of, in your mind, like, I just do it for fun.
Yeah, I did it almost every day for fun. But then...
Shit, that's better than...
Yeah, like
people that consider themselves real comics.
There was a lot more stage time. I feel like in the Midwest, it was like it was
a good scene. It was a good place to start.
Yeah, it was, and being in Detroit, it was there is like a segregation, but then that also just creates more stage time if you're willing to go up anywhere. A black room, a white room. I did church. I did whatever. I didn't. I was just looking for places that let me perform, and I think. What got me into going into stand-up originally was just I went to college in a city called Ypsilanti right outside of Ann Arbor.
Okay.
And there was a friend of mine who worked at a place called Big Ten Burrito. And she was just like a bartender there who was like, there's an open mic and it sucks. You're funny. Maybe you'll suck, but at least I'd have a friend that's here. So do you want to come on out?
Come be horrible, but I can deal with your horrible.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Like I find you funny off stage, so at least we can laugh about it if you suck, whatever. Yeah. And then first I watched it once and was like, all right, yeah, I could be this bad. I could be this bad.
Yeah.
And
I won't be as bad as some of them.
Sure, yeah. I was like, I won't be the worst of this. And then it was the perfect place to start because the people running it were new. Like nobody told me there was no light. They didn't say how much time. It was like comics. It was like they only did it a few times and somehow were in the position to host an open mic, and they didn't learn the rules yet. I did like 25 minutes the first time. I thought they were just going to tell me when I was done.
Yeah.
So I just wrote down, they weren't even jokes yet. They were just like premises.
Yeah.
And I was just like, nobody. I would at some point I just look around like, all right, okay, I'm just gonna keep on going. Nobody told me.
Did it even feel like 20 minutes though?
No. I was scared as shit.
Yeah.
They had like pitchers of beer for like a discounted. I thought I had to be like drunk to do it. Like it was like a
that
whole,
is yeah.
I had to psych myself into it. And
did you get drunk?
I was somewhat. Yeah. It was like a mixture between drunk and nerves. It was kind of hard to separate what was what. But yeah, I enjoyed it enough the first time to then just keep on finding other places.
So they never lit anybody?
They didn't light anybody.
So people were just like, I wrote my 4 jokes. I'm going to go do my 4 jokes. And you were like, I wrote pages.
It's like, yeah. I was like, I don't know. And then, everybody was so new that they were like, well, there wasn't that many comics. So they were like, between the 6 of us we're all new.
Yeah.
It'll add up to about an hour and a half probably. Okay. Like, no, they just didn't have faith in anybody to.
Any actual audience? Like, were there like.
Yeah, okay. there was some people,
bar patrons.
There was some bar patrons that I feel like half of them were like my family friends in college, friends, and then the other half were people that didn't know that they were at a comedy show.
Now looking back, so you invited a whole group for your first time ever.
Yeah.
Now looking back, if you were telling someone to start out, would you tell them to bring their friends and family to your first ever?
That's so hard for me to answer because I feel like it depends on the confidence of the person. Because like even before I even thought I started like stand up I always thought that I was a funny person.
Yeah.
Even though I never originally thought that I could make money doing stand up. So I don't think my confidence would have been affected whether or not they came or not. I was just like, I think it'd be weird and rude to not invite you guys to a thing I'm doing. But then I see other people where. Yeah, because I feel like it is better overall to bring people because I feel like your friends mostly will at least lie. At least some of them
they'll cheer through the pride they have for you doing this thing.
Yeah, they'll at least be happy that you did it, even if you did bad.
Yeah.
They'll be like, "Well, I couldn't get up there," or something.
True. Yeah.
Where because if you bomb on your own, also like because the type of show that you can get might be worse if there's not the addition of your first time people that are willing to come out.
That's a good point.
So then it's like you might just do fucking terrible the first time.
I've flip-flopped on this.
You never even come back again because you're like, oh yeah, it's awful. You feel like crap, and then you never want to do it again.
I've flip-flopped on this with new comics or people that just say like, oh, I'm interested. My friends have always told me. And I've always encouraged anybody like if I think everyone should try it. Mm-hmm. Every single person, I think, should sign up for an open mic.
Yeah,
and write down
absolutely.
a few minutes of jokes or whatever that is in your head, and whatever you think it is, just like even if it's 5 jokes, whatever.
Yeah.
And sign up for an open mic and step on stage and say that shit into a microphone and then leave the stage when you're done. Because I think, one, people that have no interest in doing this, I still think it's a positive experience to force yourself to be uncomfortable, right?
Yeah.
And then also you will leave the stage either going, I need more of that. I liked it. Like, yeah. Or you'll leave the stage being like, okay, I did it. I'm proud of myself. I never have to do that again. But now it's kind of like somebody like everyone should wait tables because you treat waitresses and waiters better. Yeah. Because you know what it takes. Mm-hmm. And the amount of people that show up at comedy shows that have never even thought about getting on stage, so they're like, I could do that. That guy wasn't. Like you've had it after shows where like, well, the guy before you wasn't that great. And I watch a lot of comedy.
They're experts.
Go fuck yourself. Yeah, they're experts because they have a Netflix account that they borrow from their mom. But it's just in my mind, it'd be good for people that later go to comedy shows because it's like, no, that's terrifying.
Yeah,
that's extremely hard. But I have gone back and forth because I think for a lot of people, it's like this should be for you. Mm-hmm. And this comes from me as a people pleaser. Mm-hmm. I did invite a bunch of people the first time I did it, and I remember like in to me it was like, how are they? Are they okay? Like, are they even enjoying the show before I got it? Like, as if there's not enough to worry about with like, am I even going to tell funny jokes? Yeah. So I think I've told different people over the years different things like, don't invite anybody. Just go find one, go to it. It's for you. Mm-hmm. And then I've told, I think I've told other people like, bring some friends. It's fun. They'll be there to support you.
It's like I could talk myself into either answer because to me, it's also like just not quitting is all of the cliche things that people say for advice.
Yeah. How do you get good?
You
do it.
And you
Don't
just
quit.
Yeah, that's really it. Because there's so many people that the only reason they got good is because they didn't quit.
Right.
Like I wasn't good. Like just the first couple of years, the only reason I didn't quit is because I saw people do simpler premises that got laughs. So I was like, that wasn't more creative. You just said it better. And I was like, well, I can learn how to
see. I was
say
the other way.
things.
I had or I guess that. I had more stage presence than jokes. So I was comfortable on stage. I could talk to a crowd. I could deliver shit that wasn't great. And that got me farther. And then my jokes got better.
Yeah, I had to learn to not hate people like you. Yeah,
which is you're still working on it.
Yeah, I'm still working now. I was always so jealous of the person that was like didn't have nerves to start with, just from
which they were there. That's what I was good at putting it on.
Yeah, because the level of confidence. Because I saw so many people that just got headlining opportunities from the very beginning just because they were so confident in a short set. That they were like, well, that looks like somebody that's done it for 20 years. Look how confident he was. Like, we all had a great time.
That's definitely some Midwest stuff. Because, like, my version of that was like, hey, somebody gave me 7 minutes. Way before I had 7 minutes. You're like headlining opportunity.
Yeah, I knew people that like headlined like Mark Ridley's like clubs that were like, wait, you skipped featuring? You hosted once and then you got to headline the club? I had to host 5 times and then I had to feature X amount of, like, I felt like I had to work up.
Could they really do it? They didn't do. When they headlined, the club had to be like, we're going to put you can host again.
Yeah,
we're going to get, you have nothing. You have 6 minutes.
Yeah, there's some people where they were ahead of their time, where their confidence showed them as being better than they were. And then eventually, I feel like eventually people catch up to whatever.
Which I'd say other part is like I remember hearing a story, Melissa Villaseñor, where like she had, and even and like Angela Johnson, they had clips come out of them doing these, like Angela Johnson's the nail salon clip. That rings a bell.
Yeah.
That came out. She was an open micer. And then she got thrust, and it's like you figure it out, and she figured out how to headline from going from an open micer to a headliner. That's because it was like one of the first comedy YouTube videos ever that like exploded.
That's so crazy. That's so crazy thinking of starting comedy as in that way. Yeah. Of just like when people start as a famous person or like even as somewhat like of a name and actors. Like I heard a podcast years ago, but of like Michael Ian Black was already in some things. And then he started doing like, he just was like, well, I guess I got to start by doing an hour. Good thing I'm good at talking to people. Like that's how he like started, it's
Jesus.
I've worked with like Steve-O and it's another thing where it's like his confidence can be so far because he's Steve-O. Yeah. But especially early on, it was like there's people at the shows that were like, I'm sorry, I wish we would have laughed more at the opener because this was, we thought we were really excited for Steve-O. We didn't know he was just going to be a dude talking into a microphone. I'm like, yeah, that's all comedy is. Like, you thought he was going to staple his balls to the stool while he was on stage? What did you?
But he did. That was the thing is when Steve-O, like in my mind, I was thinking, but at least Steve-O goes to the like, he takes his shirt off and there's a dartboard on his back and people in the audience throw darts. Yeah. And then he staples his nuts to the chair. Like he has that. I never had that to go to like, hey guys. All right, nobody's laughed in a while. Who wants to see me staple my nuts to my leg?
I remember, just a side note story, I remember like asking him, like, is there anything you want me to say? And I meant that as like, I'm introducing you.
Yeah,
is there
your credits? Yeah.
And he was just like, no, do whatever you want, man. And I was like, okay. And I was like, he thinks that I asked him if I'm allowed to curse. Like he acted like
during your set.
Yeah, like do whatever jokes you want. I would have like,
he doesn't even know what comedy is.
Yeah, I
really.
was like, I know I can. I didn't think that you were going to tell me to be clean. I thought,
how weird would that be if Steve was like, hey, I need you to be like church clean. Yes, I'm going to pull my nuts out and staple them to my thigh, but I need you to just be squeaky clean.
There was a man dressed like Captain Jack Sparrow, front row, 100%. as
in character.
And he talked a little bit during my set, but I talked to him enough to where he felt he ended up not being like too much of an issue, as he pointed at the guy to start and was like, if you say one thing, I'm gonna kick you out. And then he's just like, okay, and he's like, you're fucking out of here. And I was like, what the fuck?
And he booted him.
He booted him right away. And I'm just like,
was that a bit?
I
mean, that poor guy. But that's kind of hilarious.
It was so funny to me,
but also sad.
Because I'm just like, he's okay. Like, his friends have like fucking peed on him and like glued
this guy,
like
one word throws
ball
me
hair
off.
to his face and like all crazy things, and he's just like, yeah, but don't you fucking dare talk for a second to start hilarious. The show. We just started. Yeah.
And him responding to, okay,
yeah,
you're fucking done.
Yeah, I think he took it like he was being a smart ass.
Right.
Maybe he was, but I don't know.
That's funny. So 13 years, right? That's just 13 years in. So you grew up in the Midwest your whole existence?
I grew up in a city called Southfield, right next to Detroit.
Okay. And what kind of city was that? What kind of life did you have? What was your family? What was all that like?
I'm the youngest of four. Got an older brother, two older sisters.
Okay.
We were the one of the token whites.
In like your neighborhood,
in our
school?
city, in our school, and I think that was a big influence on how I started doing stand up, because most of like my high school friends and different people that I felt comfortable being funny in front of in school were black. Mm-hmm. So it's like the first few open mics I went to were mostly white people, but the first open mic I went to with black people in the audience, making up most of the audience, was like, this was just way more comfortable. It just felt
also
like,
a harder room,
it just
but
felt
a
like
better room when things are going well.
Yeah, like you stand out more, but if you're funny right up top, then it's like, all right, we'll listen to you now.
But if they see fear,
yeah, but it just felt like at first when I first started out, all the things I wanted to talk about at first were just things that just all of the things, especially in the Midwest, I just feel like they care about hunting just too much, to where they act like it's like their religion. And it's like, no, this is a hobby. I'm making fun of a hobby of yours. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If I say hunting sucks and you want to fight me over it, fuck off. You know what I mean? Like,
you're holding on too tight.
Yeah, you're holding on too tight. Okay, and it took me a while to. I felt like I was in two different places in my career. I was like, well, I can go have fun on stage with a black audience, or I can maybe someday I'll learn how to make white people laugh. Like that's how it felt like for a few years.
And what's interesting is it really is two totally different vibes. Like I will say this, and it's racial, not racist, but racial. Like, black audiences are the best audiences.
Yeah.
Like there's no, it's not even close.
When a black audience appreciates something, they're more vocal about it. They're more honest about it. Just.
But they also will not let it go on as long as a white audience would. Like, hey, buddy, you can do it. They're like, no,
like if
you're bad, you're done.
Yeah,
we're shutting it down. But when you're good, like I remember, and I think it's part of the reason why I got hooked. I did like it might have been like my fourth time on stage once I decided to do this. It was outside of Charlotte, and I did it was a club. It was a mic, I think, but it was a club, and I told a joke, and it was probably equal white to black audience members.
But were they seated on different sides?
They actually were. By no one's design, but their own.
Sure, yeah. People are sitting with their family and friends, and then it creates such a divide.
And it was a shallow, wide room, so it wasn't like everyone could be seated right in front. Like you're on a stage where you're like, you kept turning this way and this way, because in front of you was only 2 tables, but over here was 15 people, and over here was 15 people, and then there's like 6. So it was like that kind of where you have to, it is like, it just felt divided anyways. But there was a part of me that I told one of my like earliest jokes, and I looked, and there was like at the one table there was these 2 black guys, and one of them had his head down and he was pounding the table, and the other one stood up and just paced 3 times and sat back down laughing, and I was like, that's the greatest feeling. Like I made people move. Like you guys are laughing.
Sure.
Fucking Bush League. I want somebody that can't stay in their seat.
Yeah.
And that was like a thing where I was like, oh, this is amazing.
Yeah.
This is like telling jokes and getting people's responses is amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like when people say, if you're funny, you're funny, I'm like, that just seems like such vague. It doesn't seem like real comedy advice. Because I think some people will, it's like, I don't think you should act like a different person from room. You should be the same person you are in every room.
Yeah.
But
you should also know what room you're in.
You should also know what room you're
in.
Read the room. I don't read the room. And I think it's silly that sometimes people act like, no, just do the same everywhere. And I'm like, it doesn't even have to be because of race. If everybody in the room is 70 and up, it's gonna be different. I'm not gonna pick jokes I don't like to make them laugh. I'm not that would be pandering.
Right.
But there are things that I do enjoy. Out of all of the jokes that I have in my brain, I might as well pick the ones that will do better for the people that are in front of me right now.
My goal is to put on a good show. And in this room, this is this show.
Yeah.
Compared to this room where it's a different show.
And I felt like when I started at the white mics, they were just, it was like, all right, well, it was like each joke was just funnier than the next one was the idea.
Mm-hmm.
And in the black rooms, it was like, no, you should put your best joke up top or we might not even listen to you.
Yeah.
So give me your best quick joke up top and then we'll work from there. And it just, I think it just made me a better comedian to be more willing to get rid of the jokes that aren't as good.
Yeah.
Instead of holding on to them forever.
Because you do.
Yeah. You do. Part of you's like, well, I'm not going to cross it off the note. Why would
it gets a laugh.
Yeah.
It gets a laugh, especially in the beginning when you're like,
yeah,
it's rough.
Yeah. Yeah.
When was the last time you ate shit?
Ate shit? Where it's like, because, oh, man.
Well, and also eating shit has changed too, right? Like eating shit used to be like dead silence, but now I'm sure you've done it, or it's like.
The jokes that work, you don't care. You don't even hear the laughter.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. You don't even hear the laughter, but man, you feel it when the one doesn't.
Yeah. I feel like I eat shit on a regular enough, but I get a daily, not a daily, but I get the proper dosage of shit, I think. Yeah. And as I'm still doing slotted mics and paying and just performing in front of comics. So even eating shit there is like, did I really eat shit? Or is this just all shit we're all sharing?
Yeah. It's a shit room full of shit that we're sharing.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't on like a week, like a show on a weekend.
Yeah.
I definitely feel like I ate shit the other day, and it was I realized that my perspective, and I was like, oh, like this is like comedy maturity, I guess, because I'm 11 years in, and I realized that like I had a rough set for 20 minutes.
Ooh, yeah,
and it wasn't, and that doesn't mean like I got laughs. But not a lot, and they weren't big laughs like those jokes usually get. It was like just whatever was off, it was off. It was me, and I don't like to blame audiences. Sometimes I do. I think there was a long time where like it's never the audience's fault, and then you go through phases, and sometimes like, well, they did suck.
Yeah,
they still suck.
Why are we playing pretend? Why are we?
Yeah, they can suck too.
Sometimes, in any art form, if an audience only loves comedies and they went and saw a sci-fi movie, then they were a shitty audience for that movie. Yeah. So it's like, what are we? Yeah. I'm not saying they're bad people, but it's never the audience's fault.
That's a good point. Yeah,
it's like that just feels like something people say to toughen up because they want to.
Yeah,
those are the same.
I will
people
say though,
like,
I've seen guys where like, especially when I was younger, when I was earlier in it, I remember doing a show and like I had like kind of a rough go. And then some guy that had been doing this 10 years or more than me or whatever, or even longer than that, they came in and just turned it and took him for the ride and killed. And I was like, oh, it was me.
It was Yeah. You definitely don't want to overdo it. You don't want to overly blame the audience. That's true. You don't want to get in the habit of just assuming
it's them, because it's not. Most of the time it's not.
Yeah, you'll never get better. But I feel like you've done it long enough to be able to tell the difference of like, well, sure, if this wasn't a place that sat 400 people and there's 40 people in the room and they're all spread around and the ceiling's 300 feet and the microphone, you know what I mean? Of like, there's so many intangible things where some places are just like, no, we gave you a microphone and people. What more do you? And I'm like,
what more do I need?
Yeah,
not. Exactly. Not like at least.
look like they're in the same room.
I did World Series of Comedy the one year they didn't do it in Vegas.
Oh yeah,
were you at that?
No, but where was it?
It was in. I don't even know the town. It was. I flew into either. I forget which city. Either St. Louis or I think St. Louis.
Okay.
I know, but it was but then I took an hour and 20-minute Uber ride to this casino in the middle of nowhere. And they had the whole thing, and it was great. And I mean, I'm sure there were pros and cons to it, but like we hung out a lot with the industry that was there because there was nothing to do because you're just in this one building. Like you can't go to the other casinos. There is no other. There's nothing except this casino.
We're here or we're going home.
Yeah. So that was probably nice, as we got more like one-on-one with each other and like the
cool.
industry that was there. But like the finals were the third round and the finals were on the same night. And we didn't start the finals where it's like there's 3 of you and then they pick like who number 1, 2, and 3 are. We didn't start that till like 10:30. And this is a casino in the middle of nowhere in an auditorium or theater, if you will, that holds 1,800 people. Maybe 12. Maybe I'm wrong. Call it 12 just to be whatever. 1,200 people. And there were 80 people. There were 80 people sitting at large round banquet tables.
Sure. Yeah.
Right in front of you. And the average age was 65 years old. And I remember just being like, what the? And, fine. I excelled. I got second. But it was like one of those things where it was like, what is happening?
Yeah.
This is not, I don't know. It was funny. But on that one time, so I bombed recently, and it was like 20 minutes where, again, they were listening. They weren't, if you asked them, they were entertained. They were into it, but it wasn't.
You know what you can do,
so
you changed your barometer of.
And I got off stage and was like, oh, I just ate shit for 20 minutes. That was fun. Where that was like a new thing.
Yeah.
That was a new of like, oh, I can enjoy the bad.
Yeah.
The bad, that was rough. That sucked. Oh, okay. That was fun.
That's hard to do.
That's
hard to do.
In the beginning, one fucking 4 seconds of silence feels like an eternity, and you're like, well, I suck. I'm going to quit.
Yeah. Yeah. Even when they were just listening, that's why they were quiet. They weren't even like of just being okay with them not laughing for 2 seconds. Like this is a one-sided conversation. When you're talking, they're supposed to listen, but especially in the beginning, you're like, this is too quiet.
Which only says you're entertaining.
Yeah.
You're engaging. They're doing exactly what you've asked of them.
Yeah.
But it does all of a sudden, and I've always had like longer bits. And I've had friends that were just straight joke writers.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my God, they're like set up punch. And I'm over here like, I'm going to work this thing out. And I'm going to go 2.5 minutes without a laugh.
But it'll be rewarding.
It will be, hopefully.
Yeah.
Fuck you hope.
Yeah, but working on those, especially when you first start.
But then,
like, you don't,
sitting in that silence, though, that did take a long time to get used to. Like, no, the silence is fine. It's good. But then, the reward better be there. So you grow up small town outside of Detroit, token white guy, 4 older siblings, you said, or youngest of 4?
I'm the youngest of 4.
Youngest of 4. Have you ever heard the? I don't know who said it. I don't know what you would call it, but there is a theory or whatever, or a statistic, I should say, where comedians that have siblings are usually the youngest.
Huh. Sure. I feel like that sounds familiar, but I haven't heard it often enough to tell you for a fact if I'm lying to you.
Okay, that's
I've
fine.
heard it, but it feels right.
I've definitely noticed, especially once I became a comedian and started talking, like dealing with my family and talking to my, that, and it's the point where like in my head I've written this down a number of times where like someday I'm going to put an album out. This is called like Third Kid Shit, because I realized like, oh my God, like I have the timing I have. And I've had it my whole life. Like I was always a funny kid that could say a thing. And I realized one of my biggest skills, especially as a kid, the reason why people thought I was funny is that I could say like the most inappropriate thing at the exact right moment, whether it was to my teachers, to my parents, social, whatever. But I got really good at that.
Of just not saying, all day, every day.
Not all day. I never considered myself the funniest. Like when I was in college, my roommates in my group was way funnier than I was.
Were you the youngest too?
In my family? Yeah.
Okay.
Youngest.
Yeah.
And, but I definitely realized like, oh, nobody gives a shit what the youngest wants or needs.
Yeah.
Like as long as they're fed, they're here, we're good. Like that, do we have him? And he's fed? We're fine. Where like, and I realized like, oh, like if I wanted to say something, if I wanted to get my point heard, one, I had to be engaging and entertaining.
Yeah.
Because they're not listening.
Yeah, my opinion matters the least.
Oh, nobody cares.
Nobody cares.
Nobody cares what you want. So
there's no way that my thought is smarter than my older brother, 2 older sisters, and 2 parents.
Yeah.
There's no way that the youngest kid in the family is going to have some insightful point at the dinner table. That's how it always felt.
But exactly, which I don't think it was always true.
Sure.
But that's how we felt, which in my mind trained me to be really good at the timing. You had to know the exact moment to hop in because nobody was waiting for you. Nobody was like, we all said our piece. James, do you have anything? Like, nobody was giving you the floor.
Yeah.
So you had to have the timing, and you better be witty.
Do
you feel like that definitely was like something that you...
I think so, because I was the type of kid that was funny to whoever was sitting next to me in class. The only people that thought I was funny were people who sat next to me in school.
Because you were doing the little asides.
It was just side comments to people next to me or people at the lunch table that were next to me. But I wasn't going to say anything loud enough to make somebody that was on the other side of the classroom laugh. They never knew. And so it was like, in the city that I was in the same school district all the way up through, until I went to college. So I had some of the same friends. So it was just like every few years, maybe different people would think that I was funny. But then even by the time I left high school, there was still people that were like, holy shit, that was you did comedy? Like there's still people from high school that, we never...
would have even thought of that.
Yeah, because we saw each other in the hallway, but we never we knew each other existed, but we never really had. You didn't sit next to me in class between elementary to high school, so you didn't know that I was funny. That was.
And then so you high school, you grew up there. Like, did you have, like, what was your first job? Did you have any, like?
My first job, under the table. My dad worked at a grocery store called Foodland. And I got $5 an hour cash, and he'd have me. I was bagging groceries and stuff, and I had to have still been. This was like during the summer when I was like in high school, and then but when I went to college, like the first like legal job was Jimmy John's.
Oh, okay.
And and I worked at Jimmy John's.
Good bread. The day old bread. That's a great deal.
Yeah, it was a good deal. And there'd be homeless people who'd come by, and they'd want. But if the corporate was, they'd be too like. This is bread, man. I know it's 2-day-old bread, but I'm not gonna throw away the 2-day-old bread.
Yeah,
this guy wants somebody some fucking hungry. Bread.
Yeah,
this is insane. You know what I mean?
But they would want you to throw it away and not give it to them.
Yeah. We had to like throw it in the dump. So then eventually,
was that because of a safety thing? Because like it's 2-a-day-old, or was that because we just don't want homeless guys walking around with Jimmy John's?
I think
packages?
It was a safety thing. I think they were, or that's what they would say.
Right.
But who knows? Maybe they just who knows? But eventually,
Jimmy knows.
You'd have people that'd be like, well, let's just wrap it like in 4 garbage bags when we throw it in the dumpster. So that way, when they get it out, it'd be like, okay, this is silly, guys. Why
don't we just leave it by the back door, and if it disappears, it disappears?
Yeah. I don't know. Especially because then if they wanted it, they'd take it home and have sword fights with it.
Yeah,
and drunken.
They're making
parties.
Sandwiches for their kids.
They're golfing with it. Like exactly. They're just throwing it away. They don't care. So it's not like it's. But yeah, I worked at Jimmy John's when I went to college, which was interesting because I was not a part of, just to differentiate. I lived at a fraternity that was directly across the street from it. You could tell they weren't doing that well when they opened up the who should live here to rent out this room to people that were not a part of the fraternity.
Yeah, you don't hear about that often. You don't hear about fraternities being like, we have a room for rent because we don't have enough members.
Yeah, but there's people in the fraternity. Do they want to live here? They're like, no. They're like, okay, all right, that's a sign.
And when you moved in, you saw why. I'm guessing. Yeah, I'm guessing it was rough.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, they sometimes I'd go to like their parties and stuff, and it was cool, but it would still be weird when they'd want me to leave because they were having their secret meet, and I'm like, I don't give a fuck about your handshakes, man. I am not. I pay.
Listen,
rent
man,
here.
you're not in the club.
I'm like, I pay rent to be here.
But you don't pay dues.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we need your rent. But did they ever invite you to be in the fraternity?
Yeah, they would invite me, but
you're like, I'm good. I already live here.
Even worse than that, I was never good at telling people no. So then I would always try to give like a maybe answer, and then so I think like one time they thought that they took that as a yes, and then I just didn't.
In my mind,
up.
you're like at initiation. And they're like, "Are you ready to take the sacred vow?" And you're like, I gotta go for it. I'm sorry. And they're like, "I thought he was in."
That's not that far off. It's something like that.
Which fraternity was it?
It's not even Greek. Like, I feel like I shouldn't even promote them. Like, it's called Arm of Honor.
Yeah,
and
that's a cult. This is not a fraternity. This sounds like a cult.
So the fraternity days at college campuses are really just like Greek days. So so they couldn't go because they're not Greek. They're just a fraternity. So
right, because they are two different things. Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
So it's like they're a fraternity, but they're not Greek affiliated, so they weren't allowed to go to promote their stuff to other people.
It's weird that we say these things are Greek affiliated. These things have nothing to do with the ancient Greeks. We're just using these letters to create pretty much insurance policies to cover partying.
Yeah,
and brotherhood.
Yeah, because the brotherhood. Yeah,
the brotherhood's real. I
Sure.
I was in a fraternity in college, and I joined my sophomore year, not my freshman year, mainly because my oldest brother had been in a fraternity, and he met some of his lifelong friends there. Like, it really worked for him.
Okay,
and he was at a smaller school, and I actually went and visited when I was in high school, and I was like, this is I went to a fraternity party when I was 15, and there's girls everywhere, and the guys they were all good guys. They were fun. My brother, like I said, he had this the culture worked for him and for that group, and they all got so much out of it.
Yeah.
And then I went to college in my freshman year. I really didn't have a desire to rush or anything. I wasn't really paying attention to that, but I ended up joining the cheerleading squad. I cheered in high school. And I cheered.
Yeah, you talked about that.
And that took up so much. It was what the thing I was doing, and that took, if it wasn't school, it was that. So I was busy, and I loved it. I really enjoyed it. I got in pretty good shape. I was doing tumbling and the stunting. I did love it. I loved it. Being on the sidelines for basketball games and even the football games in the stadium and stuff.
How much of that? Your introduction into that is so interesting to me. Did you do gymnastics or anything before that?
I cheered in high school.
Okay.
Because I played everything in high school, but a buddy of mine that was 2 years older than me, his senior year was hey, he was he had cheered before in middle school or something. He was I always loved it, and I want to do it again before I graduate. Would you cheer with me? And I was like, hang out with 26 girls on a school bus? Yeah, I'm in. What are we doing? Yeah, I'll not play soccer this winter because that's a lot of running. And you're talking about we're gonna literally throw girls over our head and hang out on school buses with 26 girls. Yes, I'm in. So I did it, and I really loved it. I loved the side of it. I went to cheerleading camp twice in high school. I learned to partner stunt and throwing baskets and all that. And it was people don't realize cheerleading. Especially now, dude, if you watch college championships and competition teams, dude, it's amazing. The stunts that are happening now are just, I'm not even gonna get into it, but go Google college championship, cheerleading and partner stunting. It's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And so I liked it, and I was like, well, I'll do this. This is fun. Then I cheered a sophomore year basketball season. Junior year, I actually didn't play football. I cheered for football. I regret that. I loved because I played football all the other years, and I was like, I'm standing on the sideline wishing I was in the football game. I should. And at one point, the coach, I remember we were at this away game, and our team was losing. We were a small school. Our team's losing, and this coach, who I had never played for, this coach, he came that 1 year. He only coached for 1 year at my high school, but he literally walked. He was walking by, and I'm standing there. I'm the only guy on the cheerleading squad, by the way. And I'm standing there on the sideline cheering, and he literally walks past, and he's watching the field as a coach. They kind of walk right in front of you, and we're on the sidelines doing fucking defense, whatever. And he walks past, and he's looking, and he turns around, and he's right here, and he just looks at me, and he goes, "What the fuck are you doing?" And I had no answer. In my mind, I was like, "You're right. You're right. You're right. I should have played football. You're right."
It felt like a. That's crazy. It just feels like a flashback where it didn't really happen that intense.
Oh, it was though. It was
but it was.
He was on the field watching our team lose.
Judgy dad.
Yeah,
it was just what the fuck are you doing?
Because also we're a small school, dude. I'm 5'10". 190 pounds. Like, I'm probably the 5th biggest guy standing on the sideline.
Yeah.
And I'm in a cheerleading uniform. I'm in pants and a cheer top. That's
that's amazing.
Holding a bullhorn instead of a helmet.
I had nothing for him.
I had no defense. But
I played football.
Did you like it?
And I did, but my birthday's August 6th, and the city's cutoff date for how old you are is August 5th, and it's a weird thing because it's like. That
means you were the smallest or the biggest in your class?
Exactly. So
which one was it?
Well, depending on the year. So when I played football, I was the oldest by far. So I was like, and it's like, I could have been somebody who just turned 50. It could have been like 13 and 14-year-olds, and I'm 15 playing against 13-year-olds.
Oh,
and that difference, like
huge.
The difference between like 18 and 20 is nothing. The difference between 13 and 15 is like I'm just beating the shit out of children. That's what it is. That's what
you loved it.
I was the offensive lineman, defensive end, this skinny guy you're looking at. Well, offensive tackle, defensive end, kick returner. That was my
Which also means you were on the field when the game started and you didn't leave till it ended.
Yeah. Yeah, I was on the whole entire time.
Yeah, that was how I played.
Pushing people down on the ground that could have been stronger than me, but I'm a foot and a half taller than you.
Yeah.
Like
their voice hasn't dropped yet. Like, yeah.
It doesn't even matter. There was one time somebody got injured, and then also I grew facial hair at an early age. Really weird. So
you were intimidated.
I had like a little mustache to begin with. Like I already had like a creepy mustache.
The other parents were like, how old is that?
Exactly, yeah. So now somebody got injured. There was a whole thing on the sideline of like, what is that kid doing on here? And I'm like, this is great.
I remember my freshman year of high school when I played, I was on JV. And again, small high school, like on JV, we had, there's 11 guys on the field at any time. We had like 18 guys. We didn't have an offense in a day. Like you were,
sure.
and then varsity wasn't much better. Like my freshman year, I practiced with the JV, just like on the other field. And then I played every JV game, but then I also would leave my practice and go practice with varsity because they didn't have enough people. And I was back up every lineman position on varsity my entire freshman year. And I dressed for every game because they're like, shit might happen. We only have like one extra guy and then you. So we need you,
Yeah.
What was I going to say? Oh, but I remember my JV year, freshman year, so I'm 14. And there was a guy who was a senior who had failed twice. So he was 19 or 20 years old, but he was like smaller and they just like, he had never played before, but I guess he wanted to play. So he like played on JV and it's like a bunch of us like 14, 15-year-olds and then a 20-year-old dude. They're like, in my mind, like in this small town, I thought this guy was already like out of high school. I didn't know what the story was.
I thought
like,
he was a teacher.
He was running a business because I think he wasn't living at home anymore.
He had his own home.
He had, he had his own apartment or something. But I think he had like a lawn business
that
he ran after school. But he's like playing JV
He's trying
football.
to recruit children to his lawn.
Yeah, man, he needs someone to push him more.
You don't need to play football, man. Come on, start making some big bucks.
I'll pay you under the table. That's fine.
When you said the ages, it made me realize I think I might have had mine wrong. Because I did when I played football. I played it my freshman year of high school, but the years that I was referring to, I was in the 8th grade playing against like 6th and 7th graders, but mostly 6th graders. So maybe I was 14 and they were like 12.
Yeah.
But I know that I was
either way
in the 8th grade and they were mostly in 6th grade. And I was like,
oh,
it
that's
was
such
insane.
It
was like they didn't hit their growth spurt yet. So just because of that, we get to pretend I'm better. It's for no other reason.
Which probably felt good. Was a little confidence boost.
Yeah, it was a good confidence boost. Yeah.
They're in a helmet. It's fine. So, your first job, Jimmy John's. What about high school? High school love? Anything? First kiss. What was first kiss? What was that like?
First kiss. First like real kiss?
Yeah.
First kiss.
As opposed to...
I don't know. Yeah, I don't even know what I meant by that question. This is what the first kiss was. It was like freshman year. It was like of college.
Okay.
Yeah, we nothing in high school. We did nothing in high school.
Why is that? What happened in high school where just you weren't talking, you weren't interested?
Had a disgusting mustache that
you rocked hard.
That nobody. There's like, I grew facial hair at such a young age that it was cool at first, and then since I was in the same school district for so long, people just knew me as that. So then when I shaved it, people would be like, you look weird, because people got used to it. It's almost like if you see somebody with glasses for so long,
right? When
they take off their glasses, you're like, maybe you would have looked better without glasses if I didn't see you as guy with glasses for so many years. And so then I got self-conscious about it, and somehow, even though this is illogical, and I understand that now in retrospect, there's no reason to believe that I would be more attractive, because nothing else grew. It was just this. It was pretty much almost as thick as this is, but just
which is a pretty thick. That's a mustache. Yeah,
just this with nothing else on my face.
On a 16-year-old boy,
and yeah, throughout all of high school, and
that's unheard of. Nobody had. I can't remember. Like my senior year, I could barely grow like a mustache goatee thing, and I did it for like a week. But there was nothing like.
And I don't know why, but nobody made fun of it. It wasn't a topic. I think like if I wish I would have had more bullies. I got along with everybody.
What about your siblings? They didn't.
My brother would say not to. Because I would be like, sometimes if I thought, my friend Doug would say to shave it. And then I would say to my brother, Justin, I'd be like, hey, Doug says I could shave it. And he'd be like, don't shave it, just like trim it up and shape it up. And I'm
How much older was
I don't
your
even
brother?
know what the fuck shape it up means.
Yeah.
I'm in high school. What do you mean shape it up?
It has
All
one shape, dude.
It's got one.
Yeah, I'm not doing this.
I don't know. He's like 2 years older
2
than
years.
me.
Okay, that's what
Yeah. And so it's like, yeah, this is it. So it sounds like I should just keep it because you're telling me not. So I feel like I got conflicting things from everybody. And... but most people didn't say anything about it, so then I just kept it. But then in college, I was on the Eastern Michigan cross country team, and one day their drunken party, they shaved somebody shaved their head, somebody shaved their eyebrows, and then the grand finale, they called, my last name being Horste, they called it the Horse Stash. That was the title that they gave it. They made a Facebook page for it.
Just for your mustache.
Just for my mustache. And it was called Everybody Loves the Horse Stash. And they photoshopped my mustache on to like everybody else in the track and cross country team, the coaches, the staff. It was pretty.
So it was a legitimate,
it was
respectful
a topic of,
mustache.
It was a topic of conversation. Wow. It went from nobody even talking about it to like in college, they're like, nobody's fucking talked about that? What do you mean?
Dude, you mean your face?
Yeah, what do you mean?
Nobody's brought this up.
They'd be like, you look Puerto Rican. I don't even understand why you don't even look like a white man. I don't even understand what I'm looking. Yeah, I have a million jokes about it. And then
Did women like it in college?
I lost my virginity like a week after I got my mustache shaved. It was like,
you were
was
like,
a different...
Fuck!
It was like, maybe I would have been a bad person if I would have had confidence early. Who knows? Maybe this is. Maybe you gotta make kids look ugly on purpose until they can handle it. I don't know.
Do you think it changed your confidence?
Absolutely. Yeah.
You were more confident once you shaved it.
Yeah. Yeah. For a little bit, I felt weird because I was used to not seeing it. Yeah. But then people. Yeah.
Which is weird because when you first grew it, it gave you all the confidence.
Yeah. Because
you're like, look what I have that nobody else has.
Yeah. Wow. It only this grew for so long that the other stuff, when it would come in at such a slow pace that I would just shave that off. Mm-hmm. But then throughout years of just shaving it entirely, I just then let it all grow, and then it just grows fast. But yeah, that was the big finale, was shaving my mustache. Somehow, I think somebody drank it out of a bong or something. It was disgusting. It's college. Yeah. Somebody just thought that would get a laugh, where they shaved it.
Nobody even dared them.
And
nobody even dared them. The dares aren't even a thing anymore. It's like, watch this. And you're like, why are you doing that?
Who are you impressing?
Yeah, nobody.
Yeah, nobody cares. Yeah. And he drank it. And
a week later,
I lost my virginity. Made love to a woman.
And was that like were you dating? Was it like a night, one night?
A few days before that, a different person is who I had my first kiss with.
Look at you! What a week!
It was a week. It was there was me and my friend. Kyle. He's 7 feet tall, and he played basketball at Eastern Michigan. And he was the type, somehow just being 7 feet tall, if you have a goofy smile on your face, everybody just loves you.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. You don't have to have anything else.
Zero personality. Doesn't matter.
And he's got a great personality, but people loved him before they ever found out. Like, they were just like, you're tall, so we're cool. Like, that's cool. And I remember we were at somebody's apartment and we were leaving, and this was late. This was probably like 3 a.m, and he just hears a whole bunch of people. He just hears the sound of girls in an apartment making noise, and he knocks on the door.
Because when you're 7 feet tall, you can do shit like that.
You can do shit like that. And I'm just his sidekick, just standing next to him. And then they open the door, and he's like, you still be partying? And they're like, yeah. What's your name? Come on in. And
then like you peek out from behind. Hey.
I'm here too.
Okay.
Sure.
See with you? Okay.
Yeah. And then
so that night you're at a party, bunch of girls,
and there was a large woman who had a very large chest, who like kind of shoved me in the corner of a closet and like was like wanted me to kiss. She basically motorboated me. She
motorboated you. She backed the boat in. She backed the boat into you.
Yeah. She forced
when you say
the motorboat. It was like, do you want to? It's like, well, I'd be rude. I wouldn't have asked.
Yeah, I mean, they're here.
Yeah, you brought them to me.
Yeah. How did she end up pushing? Like, was like at what point?
Everybody wanted to fuck the tall guy.
Yeah.
And then I went to use the bathroom. And then as soon as I leave the bathroom, she's like, she just put me in a corner, and then that was so part of me is like, that was my first kiss, was kissing this
first kiss and first titties
was
titties out
she put him, it was all in the closet, and then
in the closet
and then she leaves. And then we just kept hanging out long enough that she leaves, and then I ended up making out with one of her friends later.
Wait, so did you make out with her too?
No, that was
just the titties.
That was just the titties. It's just the titties.
I mean,
college is weird. I don't know how to.
What an introduction to titties.
What an introduction to titties.
Those are your first titties?
Those are my first titties. Yeah.
Some big old.
Yeah, they were having like some party where they like all had white T-shirts, and you like would write shit on them.
Yeah.
You know, like where you would in college, people thought you had to have a theme to enjoy alcohol.
Every single party. Yeah,
they're like,
we're adults.
Can't we just be friends and enjoy alcohol? They're like, that's lame.
That's not what adults do. You have to have a theme. It is funny how you look back and you're like, everyone was like this is how you do it, and you're like, nobody does it like that.
Nobody does. This only exists in this
weird
college
space
culture
of insecurity. All right, so you get pressed into a corner. Did 7 foot? What was his name again?
Kyle.
Did 7 foot Kyle have success? That wasn't a problem. For Kyle.
Yeah. That wasn't a problem.
He comes back down, and you're like, I just saw some titties. He's like, I just fucked 3 girls.
There would be girls that I was friends with who would call me and ask me, they wanted to fuck my friend. They wanted to fuck Kyle. And then I remember a story of me calling him. Don't know why he answered.
He's your friend.
Well, he was in the middle of having sex.
But he's your friend. That's a fucking friend. That's a friend.
Answered,
also, he doesn't care what's going on.
He said he was busy. And then later, and the whole reason I called was to be like, hey, this other girl, she pretty much asked me that, she said she wants to fuck tonight. I don't know why she didn't talk to you directly. I don't know why
I'm booking. You're your booking agent.
I don't know why I'm booking your sex right now. This is really weird. But
if I could get 10% of the fucking though, that'd be great.
She could have just asked for your number, but for some reason she asked.
She wanted me to know specifically. She definitely doesn't want to fuck me. Definitely doesn't, but she would like to fuck you.
Yeah, and that he was literally having sex then. So then I had to tell her, sorry, He's already actually. He said he can't. Like, I should have just. I should have said no. I couldn't get a hold of him. It's like, nah. He said he can't tonight. And then later on,
in my mind, I remember I knew guys that shit happened to. I was never that guy.
Yeah.
I remember hanging out. Like, I was always friends. Being a cheerleader probably helped and didn't help in the sense of like, I was always I think I was always this like non-threatening. I just had friends that were girls. I was very comfortable on women. They would talk to me about things. Like, I was the guy that like, I'd go to a party And whether it was a friend of mine or not, like some girl would like confide into me that like her boyfriend cheated on her and he's such an asshole and da 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 da. And I'm like, that sucks. And then we'd sit there and have like this real conversation.
Yeah.
And then in my mind, I'm like, well, like she knows I'm gonna
why can't I find a nice guy like you? And you're like, I'm
fuck
right here.
you. The
You're
amount of
looking
time,
at me.
yeah,
I'm like me.
I'm exactly like me. The amount of times that was said to my face. Like and I'd be like, well, and I remember like trying to push and be like, well, do you want to like, oh no, but like we're like, I don't want to ruin what we had. And I'm like, what the fuck? I remember there was one instance of like, literally I was like, oh, I think this is going to happen. Like, I think this girl, like she's into me and da da da, and this guy da da. And then I like went and looked for her and she was literally like blowing her ex who's a piece of shit in a car or something. And I'm like, okay. Okay. I don't know. I don't know.
Your choices.
Yeah. I don't know.
I respect them.
But and the amount of times also, like, I remember there was I have one memory of this gal. It was fraternity. It was in college. And my fraternity and her sorority did a thing. And then we hung out some. And we had done like some event where like the fraternity teams up with a sorority and you have to do like a dance and a whatever. And I enjoyed a lot of it. But there was also like the binge drinking. I wasn't good at it, and I shouldn't have been.
What do you mean you weren't good at it?
I'm not good at drinking. Is what I learned later in life. That like, oh, I have some weird OCD thing where like once I start, I kind of don't stop, and that's a problem. Now like as a
sounds like you're too good at it.
No, I don't think so.
Like, don't try to find a positive spin. No, I was bad at it.
But it took me a few decades to realize that like, oh, James, just have 3. Mm-hmm. Just have 3 drinks. 3 drinks is awesome.
Yeah.
But because if I have 4, it turns into 6, and if I have 6, it's 9, and then I wake up the next morning and be like, do I have to apologize to anybody?
Yeah, it took me a DUI to figure that out.
Yeah. Of college. I haven't driven in a long time, but I look back at college and there was like 3 specific instances where I was like, you fucking idiot, you drove.
That's why I can't even though my like DUI story, you could argue it's like I blew what used to be the legal limit, and the cop told me that would make me happy. Like he was like, it used to be 0.01,
but today I gotta take you downtown.
Now it's 0.08, but it used to be.
So you blew a 0.1.
At 0.1, yeah. And so he's like, man, if this was, you're right on the cusp. If this was X amount of years ago. But anyways, we're going to take you in the station. And I'm like, I didn't need to hear any of that.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
I almost thought you were going to let me go.
Yeah. I almost thought, what was that type of...
I feel worse.
Yeah.
And if you just told me you blew over the limit.
Yeah, what the fuck was that? But then I'm like, but there were so many other times that I should have been arrested that I didn't.
Yeah.
Luckily, nothing happened to anybody, but I shouldn't have been driving. Then I'm like, all right, okay, I'll take it. I can only complain so much about that instance, knowing that there was times in college where like I'm at a red light or something, stopped for too long, and do you ever catch yourself at a stop sign
like, waiting for it to change?
Yeah. I had somebody next to me just like, you okay? And I was like, yeah. Just drove away. Like, I wonder how long was I there? I don't know.
I have a drunk memory of stopping at a green light.
Oh, really?
Because it's a light. And I was like, oh.
Motor muscle.
I was like, oh,
muscle
nope, that's
memory
green. I can
not
keep
100%.
Yeah, not 100.
I stop at these things sometimes.
Happened,
yeah. That's what I'm like, all right, I could complain about.
How old were you when you got the deal? You're like legal drinking age?
Yeah, it was pretty much, I was barely doing comedy at the time. I was probably like 24 or something. Because it was after a bringer comedy contest.
Oh, the best. That sounds awesome.
Yeah. It was like, it wasn't even the final. It was like a preliminary round. And then I moved on and I went to a bar that shouldn't even exist. It was called Sticks. And they gave everybody that came into the bar drumsticks so they could beat on things on the wall.
During the show.
No, this is after after the comedy show, I hung out with my friends at a bar called Sticks, and then they were like, "Here's some drumsticks.
Here's 2 weapons,
and then here's 2 weapons.
Enjoy your night.
Have fun.
Drinks are half off till 7."
And they tried to make it like all the bartenders were doing tricks with the bottles and stuff, and they were like, each bartender tried to get whoever got the most tips out of their section that section would get like free drinks. They tried to make it like competitive.
I like that. That's
like people
fun.
are like, fuck the blue team. Like, it's like
everybody give me $5. Everybody, yeah. We're gonna get a free drink out of it. We just overpaid for that drink.
Yeah. It took us $40 to get the free drink. I don't understand. Do you
remember how cheap drinking was though when you were in college compared to now?
Yeah, and just compared to Michigan. Every time I go back to Michigan, I'm just like, it's just like a $2-3 PBRs.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like it's just
here in California, like that's $18.
Yeah, I feel like
you're like I thought drinks were included with brunch. Oh, you're with brunch? It's $22.
This doesn't help my former my DUI story too much, but now the thing that I do. It's just way cheaper this way. It ends up being about a shot and a half.
Okay.
If you take some tequila or liquor of your choice, and you put it in a 5-hour energy bottle, and
just have that in your pocket.
I just take that. I'll be at the Comedy Store or something, and people will be like, they'll think I'm hustling.
Yeah,
they're like,
wow, this guy's throwing down a 5-hour energy. It's 10:30.
Yeah. They're
he's
like,
really
wow, it's midnight, and
grinding.
he's trying. Yeah, he's grinding.
No, he just saved himself $14.
Yeah.
Do you drink when you perform?
The most. I'll try not to have more than a beer at the most before I perform. I used to never drink before I performed.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I used to drink. I used to drink as a requirement
to perform. So you had that. You went through that phase.
Yeah. That was like when I started, and then I was like,
because you had to. Were you like the nerves were there? Where you're like, I
thought so, and then I learned. It didn't take me too long to realize the nerves were there no matter what, whether I consumed alcohol or not.
Right.
I was just nervous, but then I just didn't do as good.
Yeah.
Now I fumbled over all my words. So then,
now you can have one beer. That's fine.
I'll either have nothing or one beer before I go up. Yeah, or like during it, maybe I'll like, depending on how long of a set. Like maybe if I'm headlining or something, I might like bring a beer with me on stage, type of thing. But I try not to consume more than one beverage by the time I'm done.
I can't even do one. I swear I can feel it. One beer or one drink right before, like even like not even right before, but just before.
Mm-hmm.
And I swear, like when I was up at the store, I did the 7-Eleven up in the belly room, and we had, because I was there to like hang out with Matt and celebrate. He got his name on the wall at the Comedy Store, which is like a huge deal. And we started together, and I'm like, this is so cool to be a part of it and celebrate with him. And Matt Lockwood, check it out. We had drank that day. But in my mind, I'm like, oh, we have plenty of time. Like the show's later. And I had like a drink at the pool, and then they had the party at the store on Saturday, and they barbecued, and they were like taking pictures with their names. And like he had family in town and people from Michigan. And like there was a bunch of people there. I had a few more beers there, and you know. And then it was a couple hours till showtime, and I didn't have any drinks, but I probably had 4 drinks throughout from like 11 a.m. till 5, which is not, it's not crazy. I went on stage. Show started at 8. Maybe we went. I don't know when I had my.
Oh, so you didn't have anything for a few hours.
But a couple hours.
A couple hours.
I went on stage and I fumbled to me. I don't know. It'd be interesting to ask somebody that saw the show. But like that's the other part is I hear myself more accurately, and I know when I half fumbled the first half of the word. Mm-hmm. Or I like breathed funny or something, and I'm like, and it only seems to happen. Yeah, the timing and the whatever, and I just like I can't do it. Not to say like I kind of made a rule not to drink before shows years ago, but then every now and then like we do like some show at a bar or whatever, and be like, oh, we're all just gonna get fucked up and go up. Like that's fun.
Yeah.
That's its own thing.
That is its own thing. I fully agree with that.
Yeah.
Where the times that where it's like it's okay to be
like fucked up.
Yeah, where like there's no judgment. There's no good or bad. There's no when you feel like I don't have to impress anybody.
Yeah, I'm not, and it's not, and it's more even like I'm not going to let anyone down because I know I felt that way. Like I got drunk one time at the Madhouse between first and second show because it was when it was up on the roof, if you remember that.
Yeah.
And back then it was like, dude, every time you turn around
out here, but like I did a comedy festival in San Diego.
Okay.
And then I checked it out. So I saw it for a brief period of time where it was in that.
Yeah, up at the top, and it was like great. It was fun up there. The pit was the right size. It was like if you had 80 people in the pit, you had a great show, But back at the bar, it was very common for them to be like, who wants a shot? Like, oh, and it was like between shows. I'm like, fuck it, I'm here for the night. I'm a comic, I'm feeling good, and all the other comics are doing it, and I ended up having like the shot, and then like 2 drinks, and then by the time the second show started, I had in the 45 minutes between shows, I had 3 drinks or more, maybe, and I went up and like I heard myself slurring. I tripped over multiple words.
Your speech or like saying slur? No.
yeah. Isn't that what they call it? Slurring, when you say racial slurs. But I heard my speech slurring, to clarify. And at one point I started a joke. I started a joke over.
Oh God, yeah.
That I had told like one joke before. Yeah. And I caught myself. And then the other thing is, while I was on stage, I was like standing there, and I caught myself go. Like, you know, like you're like, oh, like you lose a little bit of the balance. Yep. And I felt horrible.
Sure.
I felt like I let the club down, let the audience down, let the guy that booked me down. Yeah. The owner was there of the club, Robert, if you know. And I remember apologizing to him and the guy that ran the show. And I was like, I'll never. And they're like, what are you talking about? I was like, it was just irresponsible of me. And I'm really sorry I did that. And I didn't, respect the show. And they're like, this is fucking comedy. What do you mean? They're like, dude, all right. And I remember the guy that like ran the show was like, dude, I'm fucked up for every late show. What are you talking about? And I'm like, I just don't think I'm good at it.
Yeah.
Because I want it to be good. I want to give them the show that I know I can.
So do you smoke weed?
Yeah.
I'm assuming you don't perform high, right?
No, that's a goddamn nightmare.
Yeah.
And again, there's been shows where it's like, we're all going to get fucked up and do a show. Yeah. But like, you booked me to do a show? No, I'm not high.
Yeah.
I do miss the San Diego hang used to be like, there would be nights where like you would end up at like 3 different mics, and then the last mic would be the Madhouse up on the roof. And if you remember, you would park on the roof of that giant parking complex, if that rings a bell.
Yeah,
so you're on like the 6th floor of a parking complex in downtown, and you'd get done with the mic there or a show late, and there'd be 35 comedians standing in one giant circle with like pipes going one way, joints going the other, and just everyone's just getting, and then like it'd like go from 30 people, and then it'd cut down into like your own little groups of like 5 or 6 that's like your class and whatever. But man, those hangs, those are the best. But before shows, no.
Yeah. Yeah, there's definitely I can remember the times that I regret how much I've drank before performing, and or smoke. The only times, but it's like if it's a terrible mic and I was high and I wasn't planning on going up, and I came from a different show or something, and then I got high at this other mic that I didn't want to go up at, and then they just talked me into it. Like those, like it has to be in the right specific headspace.
I've purposefully done it. Again, it's like low stakes, not a club, not a show that I got booked on, but like a mic that like, oh, we're gonna go to this bar and whatever, or everyone here is high as shit anyways, and like the bar, like even the audience or shit like that. And that's where I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna get ripped off my face. And go tell these jokes and see what I can do with them there, because I do believe in it. I believe in like when I first started 11 years ago, I remember like I left Florida and I brought with me, I spent 5 months driving around the country, and that's probably when we met. That might have been, I don't know. But I remember I brought like 2 different strains. Like I brought enough weed for like a couple months.
Okay.
With me on the road, which now looking back, probably not smart to be transporting. But I totally believed in like using it with intent, in the sense of like, I'm going to write and then I'll get high and I'll look at everything I wrote and punch it up and change it and do that. Or vice versa. I'm going to get really high and write down all this dumb shit. And then tomorrow I'll look at it through sober eyes and, pick out the gems and see what I can do with it. And same thing on stage. Like, I have these ideas, I have these jokes, I think they work. I'm going to get ripped and give it a shot. And just see if my brain connects different things. And it's definitely worked. I know for a fact that's, it's done it. But I can't just like, oh, you're going to go to it. Like I one time fucked up because I got asked to host at the American Comedy Co here in San Diego. This is a couple of years, this is pre-COVID. And I forget who the headliner was, but it was like pretty big guy, but it was like a one-nighter. And they're in there, like he had like an entourage with him, and they're in there just fucking rolling blunts and hitting them. And my buddy was also, he was featuring, I was hosting, and they're just getting fucking just blunt after blunt, just everything's passing around, bongs are being packed. I was like, fuck it, that's the kind of show we're doing. Hell yeah, like let's go. And then I stepped out, and it was a much lighter night than I thought it was going to be. Yeah. And in a room that holds 200 people, there was 17 people scattered, like you said before.
Yeah.
And I was so uncomfortable that I did the most awkward 12 minutes.
Yeah.
Where the silence was deafening.
If I'm high on stage, I have to tell the audience I'm high. That's the only way I'm going to feel comfortable being high. Yeah, that makes sense. Stage. Yeah. If I have to keep it a secret, then the whole time I'm like,
they know anyways.
Yeah,
man. They know.
Exactly.
Or they think something's wrong with me.
Exactly. So I'm like, I don't want them to think that whatever my weird twitches are normal, Jeff. I want them to think, I would rather than be like, all right, if that's weird, it's because he's high right now. It just makes way more sense. Because there was a time, well, because also I think being high in the audience, I think it's better for the comedian to be high than the audience. Because when the audience is high, doing weed shows where like it's sponsored by a dispensary or something like that, it's like it always feels like it should be a better show. It's always underwhelming. They're never.
Well, they're slower to react.
They're slower to react. Everybody thinks that they have to just do weed has to be the topic of every joke that they do. Right. So then it's just one subject for an hour and a half from everybody. It ends up just being weird to me. But the times that. But then there was one time where everybody was high and the comedians were high. It was sponsored by a dispensary, and I think it was somewhere not far from here. But this was like during the pandemic. We probably shouldn't have been there. And they wanted to do a photo thing with all the comedians ahead of time, like just blowing some smoke, but they wanted it to look cool in photo. I don't know. I didn't start. I'm not a pro. I like weed. I'm not like good at it. Like I can't blow an O and do shapes and shit, but that's what they wanted.
But they want you to take a fat hit.
And they wanted me to blow, and I was like, all right, so that shot didn't work. Do it again. I had a whole fucking
you're like,
joint
okay.
before I went up. And then I'm just like, I just need everybody. If you guys just need to know that I'm high before I do this set. If you were just wondering, then you wouldn't be able to pay attention to me, and I wouldn't be able to pay attention. We just all need to know that I'm very high.
And I'm shocked by how many guys can just blaze out all the time and go up. And in my mind, I'm watching him like if I didn't know he was high, I don't know if I'd know he's high. Yeah. But as far as I'm concerned, I'm like, I'm pretty sure when I'm high, everyone knows I'm high.
Yeah. Yeah. That's how I feel. I feel like people know. But then,
or if they don't, they're gonna be like, "That guy's crazy. What is wrong with that guy?
Or maybe
why is he standing like that?"
Or maybe they're like, "He's pretty cool. He's relaxed." And then they see me sober, and they're like, "You got way more anxiety now. This is weird."
That could happen too. I remember one time in Florida, I was hanging out with some friends, and they were like, there was like some group. It was like me, my wife, another couple, and another two people. These two guys I knew, and we're all hanging out, and they were like, "Oh, let's go to this strip club." Like, what? Yeah, let's go. But first we were like at somebody's house and we were like, well, let's like pack a bowl. And I was like, all right. And this guy had really good weed and I wasn't expecting it. And I got way too high. And between leaving the house and getting to the strip club, I lost my mind. And at one point I felt bad. I felt so bad. I was like, guys, I know we have plans, but like, I can't do this. I can't go to a place like I'm way too high. And my buddy turned to me, whose weed it was, and he was like, and he was great. He's just like, hey, you're fine. Like, what's the problem? You know, tell me, talk to me. And he just kind of talked to me because that's it. You get in your own mind and it's just whatever. Yeah. But he was like, what's the thing? I was like, I don't know. He's like, we're going to get there and people are going to know I'm high. And I'm just going to, and he was like, if you went somewhere and you saw somebody with their friends having a great time and laughing, and whether you knew they were high or not high, would you care or would you think, wow, that guy's having a great time? Yeah. And I was like, oh, I guess that makes sense. And then we got to it was the most fun ever. We sat there. I was sitting, like, my wife was next to me. A buddy of mine was on the other side. And, like, we're all sitting in a row. And, like, the main stage is there. And at one point, like, my wife was talking with some other friends. And like, what I found very interesting is, as a people pleaser in general, I was always very, like, I'm not a big strip club guy. Like, it's not especially now, I'm like, no, I'm good.
I was like, you went with your wife. That sounded
yeah,
like
she was.
you
But
were,
this strip club was like more of like, this place wasn't. I wish, this sounds weird, I wish there were more places like this place, and I don't know if there are because I just don't go to them. But this place was more like, we're gonna go to a really cool, fun bar that has good music, comfortable seating. Like it felt like every area was set up for conversations with your friends. But what you didn't realize is that that's not a coffee table, that's a dance platform, right?
Sure.
And so you're sitting around in these like nice comfy seats and whatever. And it felt more like a place that like you could go have a couple beers with friends and there happened to be beautiful women dancing topless around you.
That's
it
really
wasn't
fun.
like no you walk in the door, you sit stage center, you're here for the, like, it didn't feel like everything was about
That's so
the
funny
dancing.
to picture somebody there for like an hour before they're like, did you even notice all these titties around
Yeah,
there? There's just everywhere.
Yeah, it's so weird. But I thought the biggest one is like, I remember before, like probably one of the first times I went or whatever, like where the girl would be like, hey, do you want to dance? And you're like, I don't want to reject, like, you're a person. And I feel bad rejecting a person. So it's kind of like your Greek fraternity thing of like, well, I'm not, maybe later, not right now. I got things to do. I don't, like I was always, and once I was high, I was like, thank you so much for asking. I'm good, bro.
Your social skills were way better.
Oh my God. Like, I just felt better being like, that, very nice of you to offer, but
yeah,
I'm good. And I just was like, and all of a sudden I was like, why haven't I never been able to do that? Just in general in life, when somebody asks you something, just be like, oh, no, thank you.
Yeah.
But I'd always feel rude. And that's like, hey, do you want to go grab dinner? Like, hey, what do you want to eat? Do you want to eat that? And you're like, I don't want to make a problem, but no. Like, it's so funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was probably the most fun I ever had.
That's great.
It was high, way too high.
Too high at the strip
way
club.
Too high at a strip club. And my buddy at one point, like, I think it like started to hit me again. He's like, hey, do you see those people over there? I'm like, yeah. He's like, are they having fun? I was like, yeah. He's like, are you having fun? I was like, yeah. He's like, that's all they see. And I was like, okay, all right, I'm back. Okay.
I'm gonna have to remind myself that someday.
And it was really funny too. Like, my other buddy was sitting on their side, and he just kept narrating to me what he thought the strippers' lives were, which was the funniest shit.
Giving them a real name.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Telling me what their real names were, and then like breaking down their life for me. And they weren't like, it wasn't even depressing. No, it was like beautiful. Yeah. It's like, she's in her third semester of law school right now. Whatever. It was so funny. Because again, it was like, it wasn't, I don't know. I just feel like I've only been to a couple strip clubs, but I feel like some of them you walk in and you're like, this is dodgy.
Yeah.
Is this supposed to be here?
Yeah.
Is she supposed to be doing that? But this place was, like I said, it was just like, no, this is a great place to grab drinks with friends. Look at titties. Like, everyone's happy.
I've only been to like two. Mm-hmm. One of them was attached to a comedy club in Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
That's hilarious. And you could like walk in between.
It was
Milwaukee. That doesn't seem right.
Yeah, it was in Milwaukee, and it was called Jokers. Is the name of the comedy club, and I think it's closed down.
Was it in the strip mall in the corner?
It was.
No, never mind.
Because it was like you could play. You could like play shoot basketball and arcade games type of thing in one room, and then if you went down the stairs, there's the comedy club, and then next to the comedy club. Like, there was doors that connected all the things, but they were technically three businesses. Right. But I love that you can
shoot hoops.
You could,
or strippers.
And you could hear the strip club music, especially when there wasn't that many people, and there wasn't that many people because the club was soon to close. So it was like, so you'd clearly hear people having a better time, like during the show. No matter how well you're doing.
Should we go up there?
Should we just... And so they were like, oh, the comics, well, you're the entertainment if you wanted to check out the strip club. But then you're like, I still don't want to spend... I'm not going to spend the money. I just... So it's like... They know that you got in for free, so they don't... Nobody wants you there.
Right.
You're still the free 4 dudes that went to the strip club for free. So they're like, what are the odds that the comics are going to spend money?
Not. So they didn't pay us that much.
Yeah. So they're like, no, this is...
It's funny. Like, would you like us to pay you in lap dances? Yeah. We can give you cash, cocaine, or lap dances. What's the weirdest thing? Have you ever had somebody try to pay you in not cash?
in not cash.
Like, have you done casinos or anything?
There's times that I regretted, like before I smoked weed, like when I first started comedy, where they offered me money and a bunch of weed, and I didn't smoke at the time. And then I think back, and I'm like, that was a bunch of weed.
That was a bunch of weed.
I should have took that weed. If I
could have sold that weed.
I could have sold the weed. I could have. That was stupid. I was like, no, thank you. And I'm like, man, I think about that a lot. It was at a bowling alley where before the comedy show there was an outdoor amateur wrestling match that was PG. It was clean, so they weren't cursing. It was a family friendly. They'll hit you with a chair, but they're gonna say "darn" when they do it. And then it blew my mind. And then following that was the comedy show, and that was the place that was like, here's whatever, $25 or $50 and some weed. And
That's
I was
hilarious.
like, no,
after
thank
the
you.
clean show.
After the exactly,
like,
all of it.
The show wasn't even sponsored by a weed. It wasn't even that kind.
No, it's just the booker was a
drug dealer.
Yeah,
the booker was a drug dealer.
Yeah. This is well before it was legal in Michigan.
It's been interesting how many drug dealers do comedy.
Yeah, it's almost like they're like, I need to clean up my books, so I need to find another source of income.
It's kind of perfect. You're driving around town. It totally makes sense for you to write off all your gas because you went to 7 different establishments that night.
Yeah.
And you're surrounded by people that want weed.
Yeah.
Genius.
Yeah.
Now it makes sense.
Yeah.
At the time I was like,
there is a comic in Detroit that for years has like just like from the stage just been like, just like my merch. I don't sell T-shirts, but I sell some weed after the show.
This is like pre-legalization.
He did this for years.
Everyone's like, that's hilarious. He's like, seriously
like,
though.
Yeah. And people would be shaking hands on the way out, and he'd have little dime bags rolled up and shit, and people were like, what? Is that for real? So you're looking
That's
at
the
it.
best merch.
Yeah.
That merch sells itself.
Yeah.
Nobody feels bad, but like do you have merch? Do you do merch? What do you do?
I have shirts. Yeah.
And does it tie into one of your jokes?
Yeah.
Okay.
Eventually I found a way to have a shirt that people could find funny without context to the joke. Where it
and
almost
actually
just says
wear
the joke itself. Yeah. Because I didn't want to do that at first, which maybe I should have just to make more money, but it just felt like I saw so many people that were like, this is such an inside joke.
Yeah.
That I know you're only buying it because you like me. I want somebody to like the shirt so much that I could bomb, and somebody to be like, "Oh, I don't give a fuck about Jeff."
Yeah,
but
you were horrible.
Yeah, but
that shirt is awesome.
yeah.
And I always want to like because I've always merch has been a weird thing because I was like, I don't want to just sell you something you're not going to use.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, if I won't use it, I won't buy it. And even like I've had friends that are like, oh, I just had shirts made. I'm like, cool. And it's like, what size are you? I'm like, keep it.
Yeah.
Because one, I'm never gonna wear your I'm never gonna wear your shirt because most comedy shirts are fucking atrocious. Yeah, and they're like Slappy the dick hole, and you're like, I'm not leaving the house in that, and no one knows. I don't know.
So many, or people with the bumper stickers that have like bad words on them in some way, and they're like, but you can put it on your boss's car. You can put it on. And they're like, shut up.
Just ask for money.
Yeah, just ask
for it. Hey guys,
and people would love to. Sometimes people do.
I've had a number of people palm me after shows with $20, $10, whatever. Yeah.
What's the most you've been palmed? Like not merch related, just after a show, here's free money.
I think 100. I think a guy slipped me 100 one time.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it was like I was on like a showcase. Like there was like 8 comics. I wasn't the feature, I wasn't the whatever, but it was a showcase.
I'm pretty sure for me I'm pretty sure the guy sold drugs and needed to get rid of money. It made no sense any other way.
I wasn't even that good.
Many comics on the show. There was a bunch of comics on that. He was just afterwards. He was like, "You were cool," and he just gave me $100, and I was like, "All right, thanks."
He's like, "I was cool. You're cool,
yeah,
sir."
Yeah. If you think I'm cool,
you're way cooler.
You're handing out money.
Yeah. Where do you find? Because you've done. I mean, you've done the circuit, right? You've done some touring. Mm-hmm. Where do you love to go? Where are there any just areas of the country where you're just like, it's just that it's not for me in the sense of like my shit doesn't work there, or I don't even know what I'm asking at this point.
Of like what places. What places you like
performing? Sure. Yeah, let's start there. Who do you hate? What cities do you specifically think are dog shit?
I always wish that I do better when I'm in Austin. Not a fan. Not a fan of Austin.
Interesting. Okay. When was the last time you were there? Because have you been there since the new scene erupted? Okay.
Yep, a few months ago. I feel like there's more of a want of I feel like they're imbalanced right now. It feels like there's
what's imbalanced?
Like when there's only one famous person there, everybody just wants to be the fame. It's like that's what's good about other bigger scenes is that there's not just a Joe Rogan. It just seems like the times that I've gone to shows there, it's 10 different people who are all saying the things they say they can't say, and they don't see the irony in that.
Mm-hmm.
And so then I'm like, this is just a weird scene. Like I've got a few friends in Austin, and that's fine. But every time the shows are fine there.
I've definitely done a couple of shows there.
I wanted that to go better than it did.
I've definitely done a couple of shows Oklahoma, that I felt that way.
I've had that feeling of
the
like
Looney Bin.
Yeah,
is that there anymore? Is that still open?
I don't
or did that one
know.
shut down?
Because there's a few of them.
Yeah, but the same people. Terry and Larry and Terry.
Yeah.
Nice
like
people.
Tulsa and where it was like it was fine.
Yeah.
But you're like, I wish that went better than it did. But it's also been so long that I'm like, I don't know if that was me, or if that was just I don't want to like put it on the city entirely.
It's
who
not
knows?
the crowd's fault.
It's not the
It's
maybe
not the crowd's fault.
You know what? It's 5 years or so have passed. Maybe
hopefully I've gotten better.
Yeah, hopefully.
But it's funny. I had a friend. I think it was Zoltan that told me this. That said, I was asking him when he first started really touring, and he was like, "I don't know what it is, but I eat shit every Sunday show. I just
the day of the week."
Yeah, he's like, I don't know why.
And that's not
every
even
single,
the stereotypical. It's not like Friday late night. It's not
he's
even,
like it's the Sunday. He's like, I always just
well rested.
Yeah, only one show. It's an early show.
Yeah,
I was like, I don't know.
There's certain comics who, for some reason, every time they're hosting a show, there's a friend of mine who's like, he's seen me do well, but anytime he's hosted a show,
you eat shit.
I've ate shit. Where it's just like, I think some people, if their fans are like, I don't know how to describe them other than cool people, where there's definitely shows like that in Detroit where going to the show was more important than being at the show.
Oh, yeah.
So it was like everybody dressed up cool. There's couches. It looks great on TV, like for a film, but it's a horrible setup for actual comedy. Because people are on couches, it's well lit. Everybody's further apart.
Because I'm about to go to Detroit in like a month and a half.
I don't even think they do comedy. This is still open, but they don't do comedy at this place anymore. But it was always like, and a friend of mine who does great, and he does that carried on for so long. Where I was like, man, he does great, but that's because all of his fans are coming to see him at this place, and then the rest of us all eat.
Go
shit.
To that place, like this place,
and then the rest of us we all eat shit when he hosts and does a great 10 minutes between all of the comics. Why do we do this? And then it felt like that.
And people keep going.
And then people keep going because they're like, well, we had a good time. And if somebody does bad, he'll just make fun of them. So who cares? We still had a good time.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, this is stage time. So why ever turn it down? And then.
And eventually you go, I can turn it down.
Yeah, I can turn it down. Yeah. If I don't turn down some things, you got to pick what you want at some point to keep your sanity. That's half of me living in LA is just, it's not snow. It's good enough for me.
Do you like it?
It's not snow. I love it. I love it.
You love LA.
Mainly because it's not snow. The weather, the weather is the most important part of living to me. To me, of like, more people are depressed for longer times in the year doesn't even matter.
Because of the weather.
Same job, same life, just it's freezing and miserable in Michigan. There's so much pressure when it's nice out. You can't even really enjoy the niceness because you're like, we'll cancel whatever the fuck you have next week, James, because that's the week that that's the one day of the weekend that the whole family can get together and be in the sun by the pool.
Yeah.
It's like, it just puts so much pressure on it that you can't even enjoy the nice time because there's so little of it throughout the year.
It goes the other way out here where there's no seasons. Isn't time weird out here?
Yeah, time.
Because you don't realize that like a year went by. Wait, 4 years went by? Because like there's no season. There's no seeing the changes.
But to me, time flies when you're having fun. That just means you enjoy life more. I don't. Yeah, fuck it. Fuck seasons. Seasons suck. Seasons are a reminder that you're gonna die.
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah. Why do I have to watch all the trees die?
Yeah, the trees die. I'm gonna die. We're all gonna die. It's great. No, it's not. I hate it. And people in Michigan always give me shit. They're like, but it's dangerous and the fires and the yada yada. And then I Googled it and I was like, 50 people die every single year in Michigan just because they're just driving on the snow. Car-related snow
50
deaths,
people a year.
50 people on average a year. And you're quoting like 50 people died from a fire 30 years ago. I don't give a fuck, okay? Yeah. I don't
As soon as you bring the stats into it, it's like...
It's just like, this is insane.
Well, that's like people are like, oh my God, aren't you worried about... Like living... Like I grew up in Florida, and they're like, hurricanes. I'm like, we have like 2 weeks to see them coming.
Ah, sure.
And I remember being like, you guys are in California. Like, the big one could happen... At any moment.
Yeah, you don't get a heads up.
Zero heads up. Like in Florida, it's like, wow, but hurricanes, I'm like, and like growing up in it, especially in the Keys, like we evacuated a number of times. Like when Andrew hit in 91, 94, I forget. Like we started driving north, and then we stopped in Miami because we had friends because we got out of the Keys. Because if it would have hit dead on the Keys, it would have like put like 12 feet of water over everything.
Oh, Jesus.
Right?
Yeah.
So, we got out of the Keys, headed north, stopped in Miami where we had family or some friends up there with a place, and we were like, all right, maybe we'll stay here with them. They're in like second floor concrete building, blah, blah, blah. Watching the news, because it's still like, it's veering. And they're like, this is a projected path. These are what the models are saying. And then it's like, all right, well, now it's 8 hours away. And we're pretty sure it's going to hit between this point and this point. And like where we were was like right in the middle. And so we just kept, and it's like every time there was a hurricane, it was like the family's just going to Orlando for 2 weeks. That's it. The family goes to Orlando.
I think the visual is that, well, yeah, then it destroys, you got to buy a new house. Like
if it hits. Yeah. Like I remember driving back. So I was 9, 10. I remember we drove back down because my dad ran a business that operated sewer plants in the Keys where I grew up. And so he was considered like essential worker, like he and like firefighters and whatever, because like if the sewer plants aren't running, we got problems. So he got like, he had a thing from the county and the sheriff's department to like get back in as fast as possible because they were keeping people out. Even though it didn't even directly hit the Keys, they were keeping people out because the roads weren't clear and there were still problems just because there was enough wind. And I remember we drove through Miami. And it looked like a giant had just thrown a box of toothpicks.
Holy shit.
I'm not even kidding you. As far as you could see, you're on the interstate, and as far as you can see, just looks like toothpicks.
Yeah.
There were no more houses. It was just toothpicks as far as you could see. But then it came out, they're like, oh, our building codes, people weren't up to code, and the roofing, this had slipped by, and like, like there was all this shit. So then everything, they changed the codes and whatever. But I mean, that's anywhere though.
Yeah,
a sinkhole can swallow your house anywhere in the Midwest too.
Yeah.
So
there's been times when like the flood, people weren't expecting as much rain as there was, and like flooding went to. I remember one year where the flooding went to a place where it's like some people's cars just got ruined.
Yeah.
And shit.
That's why you have insurance.
Stuff can. I will say, to go the other side of like the places that you hate performing or that you don't do as well, the places where I have enjoyed it's like sometimes like people talk so much shit about Florida, but it's like the times I've performed in Florida, I've had a good time.
Yeah.
It's like they know their stereotypes too.
Yeah, Florida knows it's Florida.
Yeah, Florida knows it's Florida. Just use don't act like Florida's not Florida, maybe, or do or don't. But either way, it's like, but they're not going to be upset that you're shitting on them. They know
because they're in Florida.
Because they're in Florida. Like they're the ones that live here.
They're a hotter, more humid version of California.
Yeah,
where it's like, ooh, it got chilly this winter. Like, then like they said there was frost in Orlando last year. Like, and I lived in Orlando and Tampa, and like there was like 2 days a year you'd wake up and there was like frost on your car.
Yeah.
And it was cold. You'd have days in the 40s, but every night you don't mind that for a week. But it's not 4 feet of snow. It's not Michigan.
Yeah.
But Florida, Florida's still also like its own version of paradise down there. And also like the thing, everyone that, and being here, it's funny, like saying you're from Florida, people are like, oh my God, Florida man, da da da. I'm like, it's not everywhere.
Yeah.
Like Florida is like, and this isn't, I didn't make this up, but like Florida is the entire country in one state.
Sure.
Just flipped. Or like reverse. Like the north is the south.
Yeah.
Because it might as well be Georgia.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And then the South is like, you literally have like Miami is Cuba, Puerto Rico, Haiti, Mexico. Like, it's all of that crammed in, and the food is fucking amazing. The music's really good. Like, Florida, and then you get Tampa, where you have all this old culture. Orlando's the biggest.
You say old culture?
Yeah, Tampa's got some.
I didn't even know old had a culture. I thought it was just.
Oh no, sorry, old like old. How do I say that? Like old, as in like Tampa's an old city that has culture. Sorry,
because I just picture
old people culture.
Old people moved to Florida.
That's a lot of it.
So I
that's a lot of
so
it.
I just know a lot of old people moved to
Naples.
Florida. So I thought you were like, there's old
culture,
and I was like, all right, cool, good for them.
But it's like, the cities, like St. Augustine's one of the oldest cities in the country. It's like there's a lot going on here that's not what you see on the news.
Do you know Ben Brainerd? Do you know who that is? He's a comic from Florida, and he's got like a huge social media following, and people know him as being from Florida. So I worked with him all around Florida, and we went to Disney World. We did touristy Florida stuff.
Yeah.
We did it all, and it was cool.
Yeah.
I had a great time. I've also had a good time at in Atlanta. I love Atlanta. The handful of times that I've been able to be there. But I'm trying to get out and travel more and just put my own one-nighters or whatever together. And
I'm in the middle of that too, of trying to book, and I'm like in this weird place of like, I'm there and ready to do the headlining. I have the time. I know I can put on the show, but it's also like, how do you get in? How do you sell tickets? How do you and like the clubs? I don't know, but I'm not. It's not the reaction from clubs, which I get. Like I haven't been there before. You don't know who I am. I weirdly have this like soap guy thing. You're a what? You do commercial? Like what? But that doesn't.
Are you gonna sell soap on stage? Is that
no?
what they're
But I will give it away if it sells tickets. But it's been really interesting to try to like reach out, and even like World Series of Comedy. I thought that was interesting. When I got second place, and you win work. You don't win money. You win like some guaranteed. Like he got all these clubs to agree that the first place guy would get this many feature weekends and the second place guy would get this many. And I think I won like 20 something feature weekends, which is like in my mind, I'm like, great. It gets you there. They get to see what you do.
You can come back again. You can come back do well
again.
enough. Get their email address, whatever. Yeah.
Emailed all 24 clubs and then, and literally got responses from 3. And then you're like, well, I don't know what to do now. Cause like, I don't want to harass you.
Yeah.
But you did agree to this, but I also don't want to harass you because I want to work there, but now I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
And you're the guy. There's no one else. You're the person.
Yeah.
They gave me a sheet that said this guy books this club. Call him or email him.
Damn.
And it's like, I don't, so like I'm in the process of trying to put together some one-nighters like the Off the Hook down in Naples.
Okay.
Have you done that?
Yeah. We did that.
And it was just interesting because the guy literally just responded with like, well, how many tickets do you usually sell? I was like, usually? None. I've never been there. Like, I don't know how to answer this because I don't like.
Yeah. Like the crazy thing with, I know you said you don't know Ben, but just to give an idea of how crazy this was. So first I met him before the pandemic, and he had done comedy a few years. And he was like, okay, so you got a couple of Comedy Central credits. That's enough for me to at least like. He knew Florida, like the layout of it.
Yeah.
Even though he was somewhat new at comedy, he knew the people that booked all of the things. So he was like, I'll put together a Jeff Horste tour if I can open up for you. I'm like, fuck yeah. Great, whatever. Yeah. Do the whole fucking thing. Organize it.
Shit, you can headline.
Give yourself.
I'll feature.
I don't give a fuck. Yeah. And that's what it turned into, because then that was right. We were planning on doing that sometime in 2020, and then 2020 was 2020.
Yeah.
And then that got pushed back. And then by that time, during the pandemic, he fucking got TikTok famous and blew up on all social media. And it's just like, well, now you're the one with millions of followers.
Yeah, you're the one that can actually sell
tickets. You're the one
tickets.
that's going to actually sell tickets now. And he's like, well, I mean, we can co-headline. Like, we can both just split the time, and I'll just go last because people are coming to see me. I'm like, that's great, And but it was so weird of like, we'll go to all these cities around Florida, and maybe 5 people will come to see me at some of them, and the rest of the 100 or so are going to see you, but we're splitting the money and time because you're nice for some reason. And
that's great. What a great hookup. I mean, that's
and I remember going to that place where it was like, I don't know how I can follow back if it's like learning. I know people that have learned marketing where they don't have a huge following, but they've learned how to do Facebook advertising. They've learned how to do Instagram ads to the point where they can make a clip look cool enough that
to sell tickets at some club,
to sell tickets at some random club.
And I guess there's part of me that's like, isn't that what the club is supposed to do?
Yeah. Right.
Like unless you're the big guys.
But it's like, so now clubs don't want to take any chances whatsoever, it seems like. Because I also thought that, I was hoping that at some point it'd get some form. It seems like all of the biggest clubs have management. They're just booking through management. So I'm like, I don't got management. I got a Comedy Central half hour. Can I show it to you? And they're like, we'll talk.
Like they don't even. Manager send it over?
Manager send it over? That's what it feels like. So then that's why I'm just hitting up one-nighters, because they're like, sure, you got a credit. If you bring people, cool. We'll do a door deal. Maybe you'll lose. Maybe you won't make shit. I don't know. Let's find out together. And I'm like, all right, that's a good enough of a. So I found some of those places like in Texas. I found a few different places like in Houston and stuff that I've started to try to collect my own things and put them together. But it's just crazy how much more work being a comedian is versus when we started.
Yeah. And
like, where it used to just be,
you just need to be funny.
And it was like in word of mouth meant you didn't want somebody to see your clips until
they saw you at a show. And then it was like, I don't want you to see this because I might use this joke, and then you would have seen my joke. Like, no, you'll see. But now it doesn't seem. I'll put out the clips after an album comes out. I'm not going to put it out before. This might even be not finished. But now it's come to a point where it's like, so many people that have more available stage time are the ones that win. Because they're filming everything.
Because they're filming everything and clipping everything, and then they have, so they can do. Of course, you can do crowd work. If you're at the Cellar every goddamn day, and you're doing 5 shows a day, then I guess between the 50 minutes in the best comedy club in the country that you get to do on a daily basis, you got some good crowd work.
You can pull
clips.
3 minutes.
You can, and you know what I mean? Like it's and so it's like.
And I definitely tried to take note, and like I've filmed everything, but I'm also, and I came. I don't know why, but when I came up, you don't do crowd work. It's not your show. Even if you're on a showcase.
Oh,
it's not your show.
Yeah, the headliner.
And if you're the feature, you don't do crowd work.
Yeah.
That's for if the headliner wants to, they can. Yeah. And now everything you see is all these crowd work clips. I'm like, who the fuck's doing this?
Little, but not just enough to be just like
to tie them in.
Yeah. That's how I was.
So for me, I'm like, I'm not doing. Like I'm headlining around town, but it's still different.
Do you feel like you're better at crowd work than you realized because that wasn't a priority for you?
No.
Okay.
I don't feel like I'm great at crowd work because I always was just like, I know I'm doing the bits, I'm building the time.
Yeah.
And then when they were like, hey, you're going to feature, cool. I'm going to crush 20.
Sure.
Like if you're giving me 10, I'm going to crush 10. Like I'm
like
here
the moments
to show
where something crazy happens, you're professional enough to where you can handle it in a funny way.
Yeah, I think so.
And so I feel like I have a lower amount of confidence for crowd work. I wish I would have just known that the bar was lower than I thought. Because I just feel like when I started, the other comics in Detroit, to this day, in my opinion, are the best comedians I've seen in the world that have done crowd work. Mm-hmm. I haven't seen any professional comedian on any scale be consistently as good as a handful of the dudes that I feel like I started out with in Detroit. So then I'm just like, well, that's what good crowd work is.
Right.
So then when I see people online where I'm like, no, you just taped, you were lucky enough to have the camera recording and there was a crazy man in the audience.
Right.
That was, you know what I mean? Like,
and the clips are so short. It's like,
that provided entertainment and a laugh from me.
Yeah.
So I'll give it a like.
Yeah.
But also, part of me is just like, I'm just jealous that you have that situation.
The situation and the camera rolling.
Because it's.
Which is funny because now it's like I film every single set I do.
Yeah.
Like I should say, like most of like everyone that I can that the place will let you, whatever. And I'm like, I'm going to get one. No.
Yeah.
Because also I'm like, I'm not
enjoy comedy enough to where I'm like, I want to work on these bits.
Yeah.
I don't want to work on.
I want to take you for the ride I intended to take you on.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not looking, which also I think is funny because I think a lot of comedians, and this isn't negative, but I think a lot of comedians now will like finish a show and be like, and like, does anyone have questions? Who's from the, and like with like crowd work intent just to get the clips, which is smart marketing.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm like, well, I'm not going to do, I want to get the laugh and thank you.
That's why I'm hoping that I'm like, when I can get more headlining opportunities, then that can kind of happen in a more comfortable way. If I'm doing 45, then if I'm doing 45 to an hour, then the crowd work will happen more naturally in between me segueing and transitioning into jokes. And check instead of it being like I only get 7 minutes to, I'm lucky to get 7 in LA and I'm giving half of my time
to try to get a clip, to try to force a clip.
To try to force a clip. When I'm like, I feel like I wrote jokes faster than I had the opportunity to try them on a stage. And I felt like that my entire life. So I feel like I have too many, I feel bad that I have so many jokes that I haven't tried out yet. Yeah. And I'm going to fucking try out, Where Are You From? You know what I mean? That just feels so counterproductive.
I'm going to waste time letting you dictate the show. Some guy in the second row.
Yeah. I'm like, I feel like I could quit writing jokes for the rest of my life and just be like, nothing new funny. I gotta get through this shit. I gotta get through and be fine for a while.
A good point.
And so I'm like, it just feels like a waste to do it like that. And so that's why it's like, man,
that's what it takes.
There's a comic.
There's some version.
There's a she's really funny, Mary Santora, and she put up a clip of people. Her most recent album was in March. And so she's been doing crowd work. You know, she's like, she just got rid of an hour's worth of stuff. Mm-hmm. So she's like having fun at shows and posting crowd work clips. And she's like, the amount of thirsty girls in her comments that are just like, stop trying to be Matt Rife. And it's like, you think Matt Rife invented crowd work? How? What?
Well, first of all, nobody knows comedy. People are so ignorant to comedy.
The people that comment, exactly.
I've actually heard other people think that, like, because of all the crowd work clips, people think that's what comedy shows are. Yeah. So now people are heckling more than they used to heckle.
Sure, I bet. That makes sense.
Like, it's all just crowding.
Especially if they see the cameras on the wall. If you put a camera behind the curtain and they see you setting shit up, they're probably like even more so.
Like, I should do this.
This is the thing.
Which is bad enough, because I remember 10 years ago, somebody would start heckling, they'd get kicked out, and be like, what? I was helping.
Yeah.
I was trying to help.
Yeah, they thought they were helping before, without it being filmed.
Yeah, and now they want to be famous on social media from being the idiot in the crowd.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
It's weird.
Yeah, I would,
so what do we do? How do we do this then? How do you?
I think we just quit. We just have a pact right now. Not gonna do it. We just paint.
Nope. I remember what's funny is like, I want this to work.
I enjoy doing comedy, so I wouldn't quit, because also I didn't work on any other skills in life. So this is it. But this is what I got to work with.
I know. I realized a couple of years ago that I was like it was actually when I first started, that I was like, I've never had more fun in my life, and that was horrible. This is like when I first started. I was like, I've never enjoyed something I've done more in my life than this. And I will gladly be broke to do this for the rest of my life.
Yeah, yeah.
And then I went and had a kid where I'm like, well, I can't be broke. I can't live in a van. Like I would. If it was just me, I'd be in a van.
Like it's a good principle to live by.
Yeah, but now there's a kid here. And she has to eat and like do things.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's rough.
Yeah.
But
I feel like my dad kind of always, my family always in general, like we grew up broke enough that it was like, well, yeah, my dad was always like, I've hated my job, and it didn't make that much money. Go be happy.
Go love your job.
Go love your job and make no money. Sure, at least if figure out one of the two things. You can't hate a job and not make any money. Do one of the fucking two things. You know what I mean? Between being happy and making money, choose happiness. Sure. Like that.
I think that's something our generation's getting, because I think like same thing. Like my parent, I don't think they ever thought. I remember my dad, like he was, which was weird because he was incredibly supportive. He never saw me do comedy. He passed away before I did. But
sorry to hear that.
Thank you. I never know how to respond when people are like, "Oh, your dad's dead." I'm sorry.
Yeah,
like,
I feel weird saying. But also sorry to hear that, because then I'm like, well, I don't know. I didn't want to make the moment weird. No, we don't know how to talk as humans. No. We're getting there though.
But I remember thinking, like, my dad even was like, even though he was supportive of, like, if you want to do things that you should do them, but also, like, you have to go to college. You have to get a degree. Like, in his mind, he's like, that's your plan B, but it's your plan A. Your plan A is go to college, and I shouldn't have gone to college. I was not a good student. I had no business being there. I sat in classes, and I was like, well, my parents are paying, so I should do this, but I have no interest, and I'm getting a C. Because I don't know. It was that kind of shit. And so it was always just weird of like, oh no, how about happiness? And I think our generation and like especially like the millennials and the Gen Zers are definitely seeing it, and they're like, no, happiness first.
Yeah.
Like, what do you pay?
The Alpha, none of them might go to college. It might be done before then. They might just say.
Well, college also got turned into a fucking money. I mean, like, I remember even when I got there and I was like, why? And I didn't take student loans. I didn't have to. And I understand that if you do and whatever, but it's also like, if you're going to be a doctor, I understand.
Sure.
If you're going to be, and I said this like my first marriage, I had my stepdaughters who were young. They were 2 and 3 when I married their mom, but like now they're graduating high school. And I just had a conversation with one of them, and I was like, I was like, so what are you going to do? And she was like, I'm going to go to college. I was like, for what? I don't know. I was like, well, what do you mean? She's like, well, I don't know. I'm just, I'm going to go to college. I was like, all right, like, how are you going to, she's like, oh, I got some scholarships, but I'm going to like take out a loan. And I was like, and I was like, hey, like, if you want to be something, you want to be an accountant, you need to go to college. Yeah. You want to be a doctor, you want to be a dental tech, a dentist, or whatever. Yeah. But if you don't have any clue, don't go. Don't just spend the money because that's what you're supposed to do next. Because that's what I feel like I did.
That's what I did.
And then I dropped out because my parents were like, hey, you cost X amount of dollars. And I was like, that was the worst investment. Oh my God. All I've learned so far is that I like cheerleading and I'm bad at binge drinking. That's what you paid that. Like, that's a deposit. Like, you could have put a down payment on a house.
Yeah.
For what you spent in me to learn that I don't like school and I'm bad at drinking.
Yeah, that's all. Yeah, I just learned that I was pretty good at beer pong, and that was about it. Like, I made some good friendships. That's great. Like, I appreciate the people that I'm still friends with from college, and I think that's what I got out of it more than anything. And
which I think used to be reasonable because
now
you didn't
it's
have
$40,000. Now my friendships are worth $40,000 that I haven't.
Where
paid
back
off.
then you could go to college for and even before us, it was probably a little more expensive when we were there. But even before that, it was like, college is like $3,000 a semester.
Yeah, I owe like $40,000.
You do,
and my path is I'm not going to have any kids. Hopefully, I just die before the government tries to take it from me.
Yeah, you don't want want kids.
Oh yeah, no. I'm just not going to have them. It's not even a want. I've just already decided.
Okay. Yeah. Are you with a lady?
Yeah.
A lady, she's fine with it?
She doesn't want any kids. I'm 35. She's 51.
Oh,
We've been together for 10 years. She can't have kids, which is convenient because I don't want them too.
Yeah, that helps.
Yeah, so
is that part of the selling point?
Yeah. So it's
this broad's a little older. She's probably.
It every year it made the relation. It was almost like a target goal. It was like
you're like, come on, menopause. Yeah. Come on, menopause. She's like, what are you doing? You're like, nothing.
It relaxes me. Don't worry about it. Yeah.
So wait, how long have you guys been together?
Over like 10 years.
10 years, you said. Okay.
Yeah.
So you were 25. She was 41.
Mm-hmm. Or 40.
40
to
And where did you guys meet?
In Michigan, in like Metro Detroit, doing comedy.
Is she also in the comedy world?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, and then she also does audio engineering as well, and so yeah. And then we moved out here in 2019, and I moved out like 3 or 4 months beforehand, just for her to be like, I don't know. She was like nervous enough about it where I was like, look, you could make more money out here than I can. You have a skill for a thing that is needed. Like, people need audio engineers, and you've done it for years. Like, you're like, you can, you'll be fine.
Chasing my dreams. You could have a career.
Yeah, you're safe. But yeah, she does comedy and stand up and improv and sketch and does a variety of stuff.
She makes you laugh.
Yeah.
What's the, and this sounds weird, I've dated women that were older. The oldest I dated and was with I was with a woman that was 7 years older.
Mm-hmm.
So that's about half of what you're working with, right? You're
Okay.
15. Okay.
Yep.
I found that like it didn't bother me ever until like, oh my God, you remember that song? Da, 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 da. And they're like, and like I realized like, oh, we had totally different high school and college experiences. To the point where it's like we can't even talk music. Because it's so separated that like, oh, like in my, that senior year of high school, that song that, you have those memories too and da da da, and that like you hear it and it means all that. And they're like, either one, she talks about it and I'm like, I was 7.
Yeah.
And I talk about it and she was like, I don't even remember that song coming out.
So to me, that is a difference of whether or not you just get along with a person and we just are blaming it on that. That would be my argument. Because like, I don't know what it's like wherever you grew up is not like Detroit, but it's still interesting to me. Like, I'm still interested in how you grew up. So to me, it's like when I enjoy talking to a person, I don't have to. If they're good at talking and continuing a conversation, and they're good at listening and like adding to your conversation, then it's just there's more shit for us to
because we're not the same.
Yeah, I feel like we have more stuff to talk about because I had a very specific weird knowledge of music where I was, and she just loves music, so she knows way more about music. Anybody she was going to date, she was going to know more about music than them. Chances are, you know what I mean. That was just so that wasn't as weird to her because she was like, well, of course I like studied music. I went into music, and then I went into audio engineering because I was already close to music and I play music, and versus me where it was like, well, it was so segregated like musically that it just felt weird, where it's like my family didn't listen to any country. It was very like what's white people and what's black people music. That was a thought that I had as like since a child, because
there was a clear line.
There was a clear line of visibly you could see the respect difference between white people that were like really trying to be accepted. And that's the thing, especially when you're young, everybody wants to be accepted. So you can't like really blame anybody for trying to dress a certain way to fit in with their friends because they're their friends. You know what I mean? But then it was like it's just when you can associate like, oh, this is good music, but typically these type of people listen to this music, so then it feels weird to, I don't know. I always felt like when I was young, the more vague I was, the better. Like, just dress in solid colors. Don't tell people what music you like. That's the more people know about you, the more they can make fun of you. The more I was very I was very like insecure of like, I'm not going to tell you things I like, because then you can.
What if you don't like them?
What if you don't like those things?
You're gonna use
I would
that
rather
against
you
me.
think I don't like anything and I'm a fucking weirdo, and maybe that's interesting than me tell you a thing. And so
where did you fall musically?
I've always liked rap and hip hop more, and then just random bits of other stuff on the side that I might know. Like, it's definitely interesting growing up just downloading music on LimeWire type of stuff, because then you find out how much music you know that you don't know the name of the song, the album. Like, you can download a whole discography. Like, you could just download. I remember I just downloaded Jay-Z discography.
Yep, I remember doing that too in college.
Jay-Z's every song he made. Yeah. And then I'm like, I don't know what album this is. This is
it's one of the things.
This is all Jay-Z. I wouldn't know a trivia question if you asked me specifics about it. I'd have no idea, So I always felt like I enjoyed music more than I knew about music. Because I was like, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm fascinated when people like Matt Lockwood when we were up in L.A. Like, he just knows a lot. And I'm like, I don't know who this is. Yeah. I'm like, oh, I know that song. And he's like, oh, man, the lyrics. And if you listen to them, I'm like, am I an idiot? Because I don't know. Like,
I don't really listen to the lyrics. I think that I don't know if that's ADD, something about, I'm like, I don't feel as soon as I'm like, I like the song, then I'm almost like, I'm glad Spotify now has like a thing where you can follow along. I'm like, I need to know what the song is about.
See, I'm just more like, how does it make me feel?
Nobody else gives a fuck.
How does it make me feel? Is this song like last night I listened to an hour of Post Malone.
An hour?
Just an hour. I tucked my kid on. I tucked my kid in the bed, and I had to fix. I have a fan that runs just to circulate air in the little apartment, and it was making a weird noise, and I had to take this whole fan apart on my porch with a headlamp, and I was greasing the bearings and putting the fan back together. Man stuff, and bathroom fan shit. And so I just put my headphones on, and I was like, Post Malone, and it wasn't like a greatest hits, but it was like, because I thought he had a new album that was coming out. I was like, I wonder what that is. And it was like his essentials or whatever, and it just played, and it was an hour of music. And I sat there and it's like, oh, this is the first time I've ever actually really listened to the lyrics behind these songs, where if it came on, I'd be like, oh, I fucking love that song. Yeah. And this is the first time I'm like, oh shit, that's not what I had no idea what it was about.
Yeah. Where like the song can give you a positive feeling, and then
you hear the lyrics,
and then you read the lyrics, and I'm like, wow, this is
is that guy okay?
Yeah.
Is he okay? Does he need a hug?
Yeah. You know, he was going to be a country singer or something.
And then he went that way?
And then it was like nothing hit, so he was just like, all right, sure.
I thought that was, isn't there some like giant jelly roll or something? He's like a Texas guy that like he started out being a rapper and now he does country music?
Maybe. That sounds
Which again, reinvent yourself. There is no end.
Yeah.
This journey. Like, do you ever think that like as far as stand-up goes, like, do you want... You're like, I was having this conversation with Derek Poston actually in Austin last time I was there, where we were talking about, he had just gotten off tour with Andrew Schultz.
Sure, yeah.
And I was like, he was telling me all about that. And he's like, dude, we're doing like giant theaters and there's a whole show and there's like pyrotechnics and there's a song and there's music cues. And he was telling me how like, Andrew Schultz is very like every detail is specific, and show would end. And if some guy missed a fucking cue, he was pissed. And he was like, like that needs to happen. You need to be doing your, I'm paying all these people to do their jobs. You need to do your jobs, blah, blah. And then, so we just talking about like, that's his show. And Derek and I, we kind of got into this conversation of like, what do you want this to be? Like, what is your show? And I told him, I said, like, with all the things I've done, like I taught gymnastics, I taught hip hop, I was a cheerleader, I played all the sports. Like in my mind, there's like a theater show that's like, I don't even know if it's stand up as opposed to like
a one man
show ish. Cause I'm like, I'm going to have backup dancers someday. I know that.
Yeah.
That's going to happen. I want a trampoline buried in the floor where when I come out or the crowd doesn't know it, all of a sudden I do a fucking running, tumbling pass.
That's amazing.
And also I'm like, you're 41. You're going to fucking kill yourself in front of 1,200 people. But also,
like just motivation for the dream to happen sooner.
Exactly. Yeah, I got to get this going. My knees ain't.
I'm working against time.
But like when you look at comedy and what you want it to be, like, do you like, what's your big show? Because there's some people who are like, no, traditionalists, it's you and a microphone, and if you move around too much, that's your jokes must not be that good. And there's some people who are like, no, it's the whole thing. It's all the whole spectrum of performance. Where are you?
I always have like the idea of what I'd like because the special that I had I didn't really feel like it was my special. Because it wasn't like on my terms.
Yeah, they were like, do you want to come do this?
Yeah, it was like a Kevin Hart presents. It was like, this is what the setup's going to be. We're going to interview. Kevin Hart's going to interview you. We're going to show a couple minutes of that interview, and then you're going to do a half an hour. We're going to edit that down to 20 minutes. That's the show. Mm-hmm. And it was also after this other thing that the same producers had in Comedy Central. And they used like 6 minutes of that. So it was like of that set previously, and so like the view
different
that I had
clothes?
in my head that was a whole different show, but it was the same producers of the show, so they were like, don't do anything tied to that 6 minutes.
Got it.
So like originally when I started collecting all my jokes, I'm like, well, I could tie this to this, and this would tie beautifully to that, and then it's like a one opportunity at a time. You're like, well, I'll just do my best shit each time, and then you kind of take away the whole like vision of what you have. You're like, oh well, now I can't. This joke would have tied to this, but I already used it for that, and so. And
I'm guessing if you performed it on that thing, well, that was 6 of your best minutes.
Yeah. So then like, it's like, all right. So then I'm like, okay, well, I have more than 6 minutes, so I'm not like worried about like the half hour, but it is part of me like. I could have just. I didn't have to. I could have not done a couple of those jokes had I known that it was going to go well and or whatever. And so it's like I have ideas of the only ideas that I have more concrete are. I just want it to be a more diverse crowd, and I feel like it's hard for me to see that. Because for marketing purposes, everybody wants it's easier to market like a stereotypical thing, you know, where people are like the vision of a white dude in Detroit isn't me, you know? And so like the vision of whatever else. I just feel like it's hard for me to get the thing. So it's just taken me longer for me to just curate and build an audience slowly and make it happen. But I just know that I just want it to be a more diverse audience, so then I can just talk about everything that I would talk about I can do all of my favorite jokes instead of being like, these are the jokes that I can do here for this type of an audience.
But is it just you and a microphone? Is there any?
I think it is just me and a microphone. I don't think it's.
There's nothing wrong with that.
I don't think.
I get it.
I don't think I got trampoline in me. You know, I got. I don't think I got. You know, I do. I'm flexible. That you know, I do some weird.
I love
shit
how
like
that was your demonstration of flexible.
I was like, I'm gonna break the thing.
I can hold.
But I can. Yeah,
is that really flexible or is that
just
double jointed? I don't know.
I don't know. Every time you talk to a smarter person, they just say you're wrong, whatever that is. I've heard smarter people than me say opposite things, so I have no idea anymore. I heard somebody say double jointed's not even real, and that you're stupid if you even think,
because it really just means your tendons are looser.
Yeah, they're like, you don't have another extra joint. You don't have more bones than somebody else. What are you talking about? Yeah. And then somebody else was like, well, no, but that. I'm like, I don't fucking know, man.
Just tell me all I know is my arm does this.
Yeah, yeah, and I just don't want to sound stupid when somebody talks to me and asks me about it. What's the answer? And they're like, I don't know. I'm like, okay, all right, great.
This is the answer. That's all I know.
Yeah. So it's like some of the things that I did that made people laugh were things like that when I was a kid. Was the arm thing. Yeah. And I'm just now adding that as like even talking about it on stage, because when I started I was like, well, no, you should have jokes. I'm not gonna
stand here and use my arm.
Yeah, I'm not gonna just. Yeah, I don't want people to laugh at me like a clown. The goal is to.
And now you're like, you know what?
No, I'll take a clown.
Yeah, It is funny. That's because it's the same thing. Like I think when I started, it was very much more like the words and stuff, but I had more performance than jokes. And now that jokes have caught up, I'm also like, and I like the last month and a half, I've written a bunch of stuff. Like I wrote like pretty much like 15 new minutes in the past month.
Cool.
And that's how I work. I feel like, oh man, you haven't written shit. You're 15.
Yeah.
You haven't written shit. You haven't shit, you know.
Versus the people that are like, every week I work on a new.
And I write things down. I have a notebook on me at all time. But it just, you know.
Make a cup of coffee, open up the newspaper. Yeah. And
I should do that more. I should sit there and read the news.
Sure, we all should.
I don't know. But now it's funny, like now, like with that 15, I was like, I'm not, and I think I did this because I heard that like Chris Rock does this, where he just goes up and he just zero performance, just the words, just the ideas.
I like that better.
Works that out. Is that funny? Because he knows he can make it better.
Yeah.
But it has to work on its own. And so I just started running this one kind of 15-minute chunk where and it's for the first time in years, like I don't take the mic out of the stand. I just stand behind it and say the things. Mm-hmm. And now there's part of it's like, okay, now perform the shit out of it though. Like, you know it works. Like what's working is working. You know where the beats are. Yeah. Take the mic out and go nuts. Yeah. Because that's your strongest suit is still that you're physical and your stage presence.
Now that you know what, exactly. Now that you know what the beats are, you can use that to your advantage. You can perform it more. I will say the first time I saw Chris Rock perform just normal, I was like, yeah, I like this way better. It almost felt like we've been given a fake Chris Rock our whole life, where I'm like, because his extra performance isn't more energy, it's a different tone of voice. He's talking in a way that he doesn't normally fucking talk. He doesn't talk like that. So then when you hear him
and
work
he
on his
repeats
joke,
himself constantly.
yeah, he doesn't talk like that normally. He's not just repeating the premise a few times so we all know what the joke's going to be about. He just says the fucking joke. Because to me, I loved his last special, but I also saw it a few different times at places where he was working it out.
Yeah.
And it made no sense to me, some of the things that he decided not to keep in there. It's weird for who the fuck am I to question Chris Rock? But I just remember
By the way, Chris Rock's fucking amazing. Yeah.
But it was just like, when you get so big that you have so many other factors, I'm just so interested in what were those factors that made the decision to not do. There's like a whole 10-minute chunk that doesn't exist in any special that he was using when he was working on the special that he did the 3 different times that I saw him before he did the special. Didn't do that whole entire thing, and I was like, but also I liked his tone of voice better. He was just talking because it's almost like it was a change of. It felt more vulnerable, like, oh, that's how he talks. Cool.
Yeah, it's more conversational than.
Yeah.
I saw him more. I haven't seen what he put out, but I did get to see him. He and Chappelle came to town here.
Oh,
I went, and it was like in an arena. It was like 14,000 people. It was pretty crazy to watch, and but then watching, 14,000 people, but watching him work, and you could tell like he was working the hour. You could tell.
Yeah.
Chappelle was like, and we're all laughing. We're all laughing our ass off because he's that fucking good. But you can tell, like, Chappelle's just having a night.
Yeah,
he's hanging out, and I'm sure, like, and it makes he's so natural and whatever that, like, I'm sure he thought of these things.
Yeah,
but there was no urgency.
Yeah.
Where Chris, you could tell, was like, oh, he's fucking fire. He's nailing it down.
Yeah.
And that was fun to watch. And I was I was like, oh, I would be neat to see what he did, and I never saw it. But
yeah, he. So you never saw his most recent special?
No, I didn't see it. Yeah,
saw it live. Well, because they aired it live. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
I thought that was interesting.
That's cool. Yeah, the tech that's pretty neat.
Yeah, and he there was a joke that he messed up, and he's a professional enough that he just knew that could be edited. Yeah. So he was just like, he just stopped that apart and was like, and then just kept on talking, and then because then I saw later on when the edited version, and I was like, that seems clean, that's funny, that's great.
Worked.
Yeah. He was like, all right, well, that was what it was like, okay, cool, like to in the moment of a fuck up, not overreact.
Yeah,
on the first ever live Netflix special.
I thought it was wonderful. Like if you saw John Mulaney's second to last, not his most recent, but the one before that.
Yeah.
And the phone goes off. Yeah. In like the first 3 minutes.
Yeah.
And he just addresses it and talks to him and whatever. But I'm like, and left it in.
Oh yeah, I wish I remember what he's. Yeah. We'll pick up the phone. Who are we?
It sounds like him. Yeah. I loved his last one too.
Oh yeah.
But also, like, you don't have to relapse to do. Come on, John.
You're a little bit too dedicated.
Yeah, you don't. Yeah, come on.
Yeah.
Well, great shit, dude. Thank you so much for coming in.
Hey,
where can people find you online and stuff?
At Jeff Horste, JEFFHORSTE, on all social media, or you can type that in and put .com. However you want to do it.
And then is the comedy special. Where is that on ComedyCentral.com?
Yeah, it's on ComedyCentral.com. There's a search. You can just type in my name, and
you know how the Google works.
You know how the Google works, but it's on Comedy Central's website. I got the bootleg. If you want to hit me up,
I'll sell it to you.
I'll send
or some weed.
I'll send you. Yeah, I'll send you the link.
It's a bootleg link.
I might as well have the video like just unlisted on YouTube just to like send it.
Yeah, I'm surprised they gave that to you.
I just screen recorded it. Fuck them, because I obeyed the rules,
right?
And then I saw the people that did not, and it served them way better. Where they were like, after 5 years, you're allowed to have ownership of it and post it.
Yeah.
And then other people did it right away. They just posted their clips 2 months after it aired and got.
And nobody
views.
cares.
They got shows on Hulu. They got a whole bunch of shit, and I was like, "That's not the rules of the." I was like, what the fuck am I doing? Why do I think rules matter?
And isn't there part of you like, why didn't somebody tell me?
yeah, why didn't somebody tell me I could break the rules? That the rules were you could break the rules.
Yeah.
Like I didn't.
Because Comedy Central clearly doesn't care.
Yeah. It's like if I were to, I have to have I think they took it down when it was just like public or something. If I post it on YouTube public, but if I just post it as like a clip, they don't.
Right.
Nobody
so you
cares
snap
on anything. Yeah.
Well, there you go. Have you chopped that up and posted it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's been the bulk of I feel
Your
like
social.
of my following. Like I feel like when I started to get some more numbers on Facebook and Instagram and YouTube, wherever it started from me posting, having some good quality clips that I had. Yep. And so now. Gotta get some more.
Gotta get those clips.
Well,
we're off to get some clips tonight.
Yep, that's the plan.
All right. Thank you so much, man.
Thanks
this was really fun getting to know you better.
Yeah.
You're great human.
Thanks, you too.